Okay.
Yep. And I'm pulling up BCP so we have access
Oh,
to
nice. Smart move.
because we'll probably want to talk to at least somewhat intelligently about what they're running.
Overrated.
Yeah. This is going to be a broadcast mostly on vibes.
Yeah.
But at least we have the battle tactics listed.
That's
so.
yeah. That's honestly the important thing. Although I did buy my GHB before I left St. Louis just to make sure, so I do have it.
I've got one of my teammates is actually running all my stuff this weekend.
Oh.
So, so all my GHB is with him.
I
We
think
got a
we'll be
cheat
fine.
sheet. Also, Kai, I thought you left the desk. I didn't know you were still on the channel.
He's wireless.
Yeah. Ooh. No, I just didn't know that your headset was wireless. I thought when you got up, you weren't on the channel. Great.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's all good.
Yep. No problem. We were pulling up Best Coast pairings on our phones to try and make sure we had lists too, so we'll get it done.
Travis, should you be playing a game?
Well, someone has to run the tournament.
Isn't that-
Leave Tyler alone.
That's Dawn.
Are they on the West Coast pairings?
They are. You gotta make him a.
I don't have an account, but
You make him.
I can't make him.
I'll log him in. I'll log him in now.
But can I just Alright, I'm gonna go play my game.
Let's do it, baby! I just. I don't think here. I got you. Yeah, go ahead, make it. And then I'll just add you as a tournament organizer. Hey guys, if your team is on, if your people are in table 1, let's get them over here so they can start getting it set up. Please and thank you. Yes, sir.
Camera's there, buddy. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, battle plans will always be in order with me. That's the only way I understand to do it.
Real quick, I forgot your name. I'm so sorry. Josh, thank you, Josh. I'm terrible with names. I apologize. All right, we got Josh and David.
Okay.
You know, you're in St. Louis now, and I just never see you at events. What's going on?
I travel a lot for Star Wars.
Which Star Wars?
Unlimited. The card
Oh,
game.
okay, nice. I really enjoyed that game when it first came out, and then I remembered I had to play with card games.
See, I actually prefer card games.
It's like the vibe that some of the card game players put out. It was just not. I was kind of like, I don't want to deal with this.
That's fair. I can respect that.
But I enjoyed the card game. I think I still have an old Iden Versio deck somewhere in my basement.
Oh.
But that was back during the original set.
Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore, I'm sure.
I'm going to make you a tournament organizer so you have access to everything. You don't have to ask me for anything else again. And you're going to go, there you go. There you go.
I don't know the scenario, actually.
You can also go to. Is that what you needed?
What's the first battle plan?
Very first one on the list. Linked ley lines. Linked ley lines.
Linked ley lines.
I'll open up the battle plan.
Yep.
Focus on it to help you out. It's up to you. You want me to do that?
Give me everything you got.
Okay.
I'll take advantage.
They're double-sided. So
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
as soon as the game gets going, Mitch, as soon as they actually start playing, me and you will take those around. Do you guys need anything? I got some Diet Pepsi in the fridge in there.
Good.
I got some penis.
At some point, I'll need to get some like ice and water. Wasn't there a misunderstanding about the scenario?
Yeah, because technically you could say that you could like draw the line crazily because it doesn't say straight
Right.
line.
But like the linked lines are actually supposed to be here, here, and here.
I
right?
think it's just supposed to be these.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say like it's crazy if it's just the green. And
Yeah.
Like what? Okay.
But technically, you could draw a line here, and you control all of them on
Right.
a line between the two.
Yeah.
long
I'm like
sides.
that can't be correct.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I have a strict we don't interrupt their gameplay
Oh,
even
yeah,
if they're
absolutely
doing
not,
something
yeah.
wrong. That's not our business. We are spectators. We're not participants.
Yeah.
So okay.
We're not live yet.
The Mediocre Midwesterners, yeah. And Josh is part of Feast Brigade?
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, he's wearing the jersey, but
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. People are in Gateway Gamers jerseys, and there's no Gateway
yeah,
Gamer here.
that's true. But that is the name of their team, though, is, yeah,
Yeah.
Feast Brigade. So.
And do we have any audio from them playing to like hear what they're saying at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be really loud because it's an audio version.
Okay.
It's super loud.
Okay.
It's too loud, let it out.
Okay.
We'll be testing again. I'm going to try to find 2 lav mics and should put it on.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
That's what I was. Yeah.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. Fair.
Super pro. Got lob mics and shit. Nice. Do you live stream for a living, Kai, or
Can't hear you.
you muted, buddy? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fair.
Well, no, I mean, like, you don't have to necessarily play this, but...
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay. Then I should pick your brain. It's that beautiful Night Hunt, and that beautiful Usharon. Look at that.
Ooh, yeah. Some flesh eaters and some night hawk.
Yeah, it's a death on death match.
Doctor Strange and Peter Parker are playing.
Yep. I wonder who is who, though. Ooh, there we go. Look at that.
Fancy.
That's so nice. Thank you, Kai. You can get better.
Okay.
Good morning and welcome to the Summergeddon Super Squad Series. I am Stu and with me is Brett.
What up?
Hey, and it's a great morning here for some AOS. We're going to have a lot of fun here today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I'm,
for those,
I'm glad you have the energy.
got to be a coffee achiever, man. All right, so as you may know, this is a team event where people are drafting choices among their team so that we will show a one match here among teams, and the results are based on team efforts, not in necessarily individual efforts. So just because you've lost your battle doesn't mean your team has lost the war.
And they are 8-man teams.
Correct. So we have a lot of players here, but we only have actually very few teams. So first up, we've got today here, we have David Erger versus Josh
McBride.
Yep, sorry, I apologize, Josh. And we've got a Flesh Eater Quartz list and versus Night Hunt. And here is David Erger's list.
David Erger playing for the team Mediocre Midwesterners.
And Josh McBride playing for the Feast Brigade. As you can see here, David Erger's list here, really good Night Hunt list. I like it. Reikenor the Grimhaler,
I'm
Lake
a big
Ice
fan of
Revenants.
him. Yep.
Yep. Dreadblade Harrows, Lord Executioner, the new Scourge of Gyron Black Coach. So this is the variant here. The Cruel Gas Crusader, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't see him very much in this edition.
Yep. Chain Ghasts, Craven Throne Guard, going to be a popular pick this season, I think. Dread Scythe Heritans, and of course the Nexus of Grief.
Yes, very cool. As a Night Hunt player, I was very happy when they got their own terrain piece finally.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Vanishing Phantoms is their sub-faction here, so he will have a teleport available to him too.
Yes. Josh McBride playing some Flesh Eater Courts, much higher drops. So David will definitely have the pick for who's going to go first.
And Josh will have an ability to once per game re-roll priority rolls here. So hopefully he can keep away from doubles from happening too badly here.
Absolutely.
But we've got the Cannibal Court here, and looks like we've got Ossiarch, of course.
He's just money.
Yep, a couple more big knights here reinforced. The recent nerfs can't keep him down.
And the new, against Scourge of Gyron, Ghoul King, what does he do? Do you know off the top of your head? I can look it up.
I am not familiar here. Flesh Eater Courts is not one of the factions I'm super familiar with all the time. But we also have a Crypt Guard reinforced, a Marrow Scrolled Herald, as well as three more Scourge of Gyron apparent Gold Kings. So apparently, whatever it is, it's real good.
So they have they're decently hitty. 5 attacks, 3s, 1 rend, 2 damage, but anti-hero plus 1 rend. Move 6, 5 health, 2 control, 5 up save, but also the 6 up death save, death ward, obviously.
Of course.
And then 2 passives. Long live the king. If this unit would be destroyed before moving it from play. Friendly non-unique Flesh Eater Courts units wholly within 12 inches of the unit become enraged until the start of your next turn.
Ooh.
And then when if a unit is enraged, its melee weapons have crit auto wound and score crits on 5s instead of 6s.
Ooh, yeah.
So just suiciding some of those to get the buffs for the rest of the army.
Yeah, that's going to be strong.
Yeah, and then the other ability is the King's Court. Effect, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons used by other friendly non-monster Flesh Eater Court heroes while they're only within 12 inches of the unit. And add 1 to the attacks characteristic of this unit's melee weapons for each other friendly non-monster Flesh Eater Court hero wholly within 12 inches to a maximum of 3.
Nice.
So kind of running them together as little murder machines.
Yeah. Nicely done. And today's scenario here is linked ley lines. As you can see here, we have 5 objectives here, 2 green, 2 red, and blue in the center. How this works is that you will score 3 victory points if you control at least 1 objective, 3 victory points if you control 2 or more, 2 more victory points if you control any pairs of objectives, which is either both the greens or both the reds, and finally 2 more victory points if you control all the objectives on a linked ley line.
There has been some drama with this, the way it's written, in that it doesn't specify which lines. I think the common consensus in what is going to be played here, it's the down the middle, top to bottom, and across the middle from the sides. So the lines that have 3 objectives on them.
Correct. So in order to get the linked ley lines, you will have to control the blue and then either pair.
Or both.
Or both.
You don't get extra points for it, but you could.
No. But there are some battle tactics in this season here that do require you to control, in fact, all of the objectives here on this. Oh, thank you, Kai. Just getting chat sorted up here so that we can see your lovely comments and talk to you here about this.
Yeah. Kai being our lovely behind-the-scenes producer, doing the hard work.
Yeah, he's been paid the big bucks here. We're just pretty voices in your head.
Whoa, I got paid literally ones of dollars to be here.
Oh, really?
No, that's not true.
I was going to say, I'm paid money to be here. I'm in the negative. I don't know what to tell you. And you should know here that the underdog does have a twist in this. Underdogs in this scenario here are able to have their friendly units' weapons have anti-manifestation plus 1 rend, while those units are contesting an objective that they both are controlled by you and are in a linked ley line, as well as Full of Life, which is their friendly manifestations have strike first. So that could be an interesting little tidbit there for them.
As far as looking at the battlefield itself, as it's being set up, it's worth noting there are 4 places of power. Both of the buildings on the middle line with the 2 greens, both of those are places of power. The big building bottom right next to Ossiarch is a place of power. as well as the building on the top leftish middle next to, I believe those are Blade Geists, are another place of power.
And Luke, you're absolutely right. I think there's a good chance that David's going to knock the roof right off that building there.
Absolutely.
It's not a miniatures game until we disturb the scenery a little bit.
Hey, that's why I'm a 2D terrain guy. 2D terrain is best.
I absolutely understand both sides of the argument. It's definitely an argument between functionality and just looking really nice, and there's definitely an aspect of spectacle to the game.
Absolutely. But I also play with gray plastic models pretty heavily, so.
Yeah. But there is something to say of, well, the game is done, and we could just roll up the mat with all the terrain and go, hey, I'm done. You know.
All right, so it looks like this is David's second drop, which is his last one. So he has the black coach in the back. The Scourge of Garan version still has the teleport, right? So it
does not.
It lost that. That's a bummer.
But it can gain crit mortals instead of crit auto wounds, or it can become a wizard. In addition to some other rules here, and it's a lot of fun. This is definitely an interesting version of Black Coach.
And then looks like a big block of Blade Geists in the middle, backed up by the Chain Rasps and then the Chain Ghasts, and then over on the side the Harridans, and then Reikenor and the Dreadblade Harrows. The scourge of early 4th Ed, Dreadblade Harrows.
Yep.
Much below their previous power level.
Yeah, but that's for the best, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I played Night Haunt early on in the season and definitely abused them pretty heavily.
Yeah, and we're definitely about to see here the other two Nexus of Grief drop here a little later here in the turn. All right, looks like we've got Usharan flanked by the 2 units of Morbeg Knights, as well as the Bully Squad here. And is David being handed chocolate?
That's what it looked like.
Oh no, he's being
some
handed
sort of marker.
It's treasure chest for the.
For his battle tactics.
For his battle tactic here.
Can we get the list up again to talk about battle tactics?
Yep. Thank you, Kai. So Josh McBride here has the battle tactics Intercept and Recover and Master the Paths. Intercept and Recover is that, as you just saw here, you hand 3 treasure tokens to your opponent. They give it to 3 units, and you will score one of your objectives on that for every time you kill a unit with a treasure marker on them.
Yes.
If you ever double your opponent, though, they have the option to remove one of those treasures. So you have to be careful doubling. Yeah,
because you automatically lose at least 5 victory points to your overall total if you take a double.
Correct. So you have to do that with a little bit of care.
Then his other one is Master the Paths, which is a pretty common one, I think. It's the standard 3. The first one is killing a hero during the battle, so it doesn't necessarily have to be during that turn, just at some point during the battle. Seize the Paths. You control it if there are more friendly units in neutral territory than enemy units. There is neutral territory here. They are the short deployments, so just the 11 inches up on each side. And then the third part is complete this tactic at the end of your turn if there are at least 3 different friendly units that are within 9 inches of a different corner of the battlefield, and only one of those is wholly within territory. So the far corners.
Yep. Should be pretty easy for most folks to do here, especially with Josh's maneuver here. And it looks like they are starting here.
Yep.
Looks like it's.
Yeah, go ahead and throw it on.
And we've got, looks like Scouting Force and Attuned to Gairan. Scouting Force is that at the start of the battle, every friendly non-hero infantry and non-hero cavalry unit wholly within friendly territory becomes a scout unit. You cannot complete these battle tactics with scout units that are in combat, and replacement units, replaced scout units, are also considered scout units. Effectively, you can score a battle tactic if there are 3 more friendly scout units wholly outside of friendly territory. You can then score another battle tactic if at the end of your turn 3 or more objectives or terrain features you control in any combination are being contested by friendly scout units. They must be in enemy territory. And then finally, you can score the final battle tactic if at the end of your turn a friendly scout unit was not set up this turn, is contesting a terrain feature that you control wholly within enemy territory that's more than 6 inches away from friendly territory.
And then Attuned to Gairan is his other tactic. Again, a pretty common one that I've seen in this tournament and elsewhere. The first step is complete this tactic at the end of your turn if there are at least 2 friendly units wholly within 3 inches of the center of the battlefield that are not in combat. So pretty similar to the old seize the center tactic from last season.
Yep.
The second one is phase strikes, which is the retreat and charge one. 2 friendly units retreat, 2 friendly units charge. You can't double up as far as counting. So
Correct.
even if you have retreat and charge, you can't retreat with 2 and then charge with the same 2. You can retreat with 2, charge with 2 difference, but you could theoretically still charge with the 2 that did retreat. They just don't count for for that part of the tactic.
Correct. 4 units have to be totally involved here.
Yes, which was, I think, a tactic from the
Third
season,
ed.
Third ed. Yeah. And then purification rites. You complete this tactic at the end of your turn if there are no enemy units within friendly territory. If there are no enemy units within friendly or neutral territory. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there.
That's okay. That's okay. So David's definitely looking to position himself much more aggressively here.
Yes.
So it looks like we have Quicksilver swords already out on the field here.
Yep. Yeah, it is worth noting both of them have Etherot machineries as their manifestation lore, which I actually like a lot this season.
Yes.
It's one of the ones that doesn't cost any points, gives some shooting protection with the cogs, and then some offensive power with pendulum and swords.
Absolutely. Looks like we have a... Gotcha.
Okay.
And as we're wrapping up here this first hero phase here, we'd like to thank our local game store here, Metagames Unlimited, here in Springfield, Missouri. It is a great, wonderful venue here that's been so kind to allow us to host here. And if you're in the area, I definitely recommend coming by and taking a look here. So for Metagames, if you want your LGS to be a little more effed, come to Metagames.
Yeah, I've done a lot of traveling across the country, playing Age of Sigmar and then all sorts of other games. And even though I'm a little biased because I am a former Springfield local, I recently relocated to St. Louis. Metagames is, if not the best, one of the best game stores I've ever visited.
It's also no coincidence that it's right next to Missouri's only Buc-ee's right now, so that's
That's
already
true.
a hefty incentive.
Although I'm a Wally's guy over Buc-ee's personally.
I can respect that. Even though there's only 2 Wallies ever in the country.
But I got one's in St. Louis and there's in the way Chicago, which I go up to pretty often.
Yep. I used to enjoy going to Adepticon. I could visit both in one trip.
Yep.
All right, so it looks like we are...
Still doing some casting.
Yep.
We got some
Oh, no,
high
this is
energy
magical.
already.
This is magical
Oh,
intervention.
this is an intervention, yeah, okay.
And David's bringing out his own swords.
Some sword-on-sword violence.
And Connor Stevens says, "Let's go, Josh."
Josh says he loves you, Connor.
And who wouldn't, Connor? Who wouldn't love you? All right, definitely outside of 9, within 12.
Yep.
Reikenor pulling it out once again, showing value.
Absolutely. Reikenor getting those pretty easy bonuses to cast
Yeah.
to offset the penalty for magical intervention.
Not to mention, Reikenor is among several Night Haunt models that really love to hit nerds.
Yeah.
Any wizards, any priests, and he just really loves getting into those. So it looks like the Morbid Knights are advancing up fast here to take the left green objective.
Yep, this is a battle plan where if you go first, it's pretty easy to score. Maybe not max points, but a lot of points because you can always just take the 3 middle objectives.
Exactly. But
Assuming you're fast enough. I'm
Right.
recently a pretty heavy Nurgle player, which can be a struggle sometimes, just getting up to the middle of the battlefield with my Blight Kings. There goes the roof.
there goes the roof.
There
it
goes.
But it wasn't David, it was Josh.
Yep, other Morbid Knights doing the same thing. Not terribly shocking there.
Yep. And with 2 armies as fast as these are here, sometimes it is a little dangerous here because while Josh is positioned here to take a lot of points right from the get-go, if he can't get his entire force upfield here, he's in position of leaving himself open to a pretty strong alpha, especially with Night Haunt. With a base speed of 8 on most of their units, Night Haunt is positioned to basically be able to come in and more or less take them wherever they go. So it looks like they've got an advance of 5.
I think those are the Ghoul Kings.
Yep. Looks like it's one of the Blight Kings or the Abhorrent.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is that's a fun little combo. Just having
Yeah.
a million of those in your army.
It's certainly fun, and we are seeing a trend in this season of more people be going higher drops,
Yeah.
as opposed to last season where people were trying to slim down to as few regiments as possible.
Although until that battle scroll where you started getting you could take the extra honor guard ability
Right.
to get more drops.
Yeah, that mid-season drop there. Yes, we can.
Yep. Doing some running.
Yep. Once again,
And-
Josh just trying to draw the line of scrimmage here.
Yep. And that is a dangerous unit to get into because you have to split your attacks, obviously, because they are 5 different units, and they buff each other automatically just for being nearby. And if you happen to kill one, the rest go crazy.
Yep, Josh. David will have to do some very specific splitting fire here when he comes in, because I'm not sure he can afford to even let 2 or 3 of those things just kind of like hang around for a couple turns.
Yeah. And are those regular ghouls or crypt guard? I can't tell from here.
I think they are regular. I think they're the little guys.
Okay. I couldn't tell if it was
because it's a big squad of them. So
Yeah.
in
Well-
the previous season, I'm sure they would have had bodyguard for Ossiarch. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to wait for where Ossiarch goes. He's kind of a fun combination of like true hammer, but also kind of distraction Carnifex because he's a he can hold his own pretty much wherever he goes, but then he's a force multiplier for the rest of the army.
Yep, and while he looks like a big piece, which everyone kind of sometimes assumes is a big linchpin, while it is true he's a linchpin, he can definitely hold his own. So I wouldn't say it's trivial to remove him.
Absolutely not.
Yep, okay, and he's just going to be rather conservative here with his approach.
Well, that's a good thing because it's as far up as the ghouls had moved, I believe.
I think he'd rather charge than be charged.
Yeah,
So.
and that would stop the Dreadblade Harrows from jumping behind, maybe charging into the back of the ghouls.
True.
And taking that objective from him. While we're waiting here, we'll thank a few of our other sponsors. We have Gray Matter Gaming, Starforged, and Artist Opus. All of these provided some pretty great bits and bobs in the gift bags for all the players here. So definitely thanks to them in addition to Metagames.
Absolutely. Artist Opus makes the finest brushes around, and we recommend them here if you're ever trying to up your hobby game in terms of your tools. Gray Matter Gaming also makes some of the finest neoprene mats out there. I believe this mat is a Gray Matter Games mat.
It does look like one, yeah.
And Starforged has been making laser forged tokens and accessories, I believe. And looks like we are getting.
Yeah, I don't
rather tight
foresee
maneuvers here.
any charges.
And looks like the treasures are on the chain ghasts, the Cruciator, and the crossbow, the Craven Throne Guard there.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm surprised that the Craven Throne Guard are so far back and behind the Blade Geists, as I usually find them to be good behind the Dreadscythe Harridans, as they can pre-wound a unit so that you can turn on their abilities.
Yeah, that is a fun combo, but he does have the teleport from the sub-faction.
Also
So
true.
they can kind of go wherever they need to, which is good because they are relatively short range with only 12 inches.
True, and it's actually kind of interesting that in this new season, while there's a lot more rules about obscuring models and preventing line of sight and shoots, it's interesting to note that Night Haunt really doesn't care about any of those because they almost all fly, and the Craven Throne Guard basically don't let anything block their line of sight.
Yeah, they can shoot through walls, trees, whatever.
And so if you're in range, you're in danger.
Ranger danger.
That's right.
Yeah, Lucius Meyer saying Ossiarch hits like a truck. Absolutely. The
That's no joke.
The first game of 4-Ed, granted that was the last season, but the very first game of 4-Ed I ever played, I forgot that countercharge was a thing and got countercharged by Ossiarch,
Oh,
and it did not feel good.
always rough, always rough. And just a quite slight correction here, the Craven Throne Guard are not 12 inches, but 16-inch range.
Oh, okay, good for them.
So they are way better than we thought.
Yeah, I think that was an increase from third ed. 'Cause I believe in third ed they were shorter, which was the last time I played them. I haven't played my Night Hunt a lot.
Their stacks are going to go
recently.
way up this season, I think.
I agree with
Night
that.
Hunt in general will, but just because, again, most of the changes they made this season with changes to all-out attack, changes to obscuring terrain stuff, Night Hunt is just, they just don't care about any of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the changes to all-out attack, you still get the +1 to hit. You take the -1 to save, which Night Hunt ignores.
Yep.
And that changes to all-out defense, where it makes it a little harder, especially if you're going into MSU, which I think is again going to be a lot more common this season.
Yep.
Night Hunt already does an all-out defense. They still get their discorporate, their all-out ghost, as I call it.
Yep.
Which works a little different since you pop it in the hero phase and it gives the +1 ward. But that applies against any attack they take for that turn.
Yep. The TO Don just stopping by here to ask a quick question here. Don, thank you so much for putting on this event and helping us run this such a great time here for
Absolutely.
us to come together and have some great games.
I say a lot of bad stuff about Don, and I only mean about half of it, but he does put on a great event, and he does love doing this. He puts a lot of his time, money, blood, sweat, and tears into running this event.
He does.
All right, we had looks like a banish for Josh's swords.
Yep. Oh, and we just cast something here. Or we're going to try and countercast, and he's got it. What are we putting out? Putting out a Shade Mist, perhaps?
That would be my guess. Very powerful spell for Night Hunt to give -1 to wound to a unit.
Certainly, yeah. And it looks like he's giving it to the Dread Scythe Harrows there, or the Dreadblade Harrows.
Which makes some sense since they do have their teleport. They end up in combat more often now than they did again early in this edition when they could teleport in out of combat and on your opponent's turn.
Yeah. But -1 to wound on those guys who are usually going to fly off somewhere and have an adventure.
Yeah.
Definitely makes sense.
Especially as fast as Josh's army is. It's hard to make them really safe unless they're just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It looks like we're into the movement phase.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. David's army only has the 2 casts off of Reikenor, so they can only do so much.
A possible additional one if the Scourge of Gyran Black Coach becomes a wizard. But yeah, he's a relatively low cast for Night Hunt.
Unlike Josh's army, all of his Ghoul Kings are wizard 1s.
Yeah, so he's just going cast-terrific here.
Yeah, he has the 5 there, and then I believe Ossiarch has 2 himself.
Yep. Okay, so the Dreadblades are not teleporting. That's interesting.
I think they still might be able to teleport to the end of the movement phase even after they move. I'd have to.
Oh, is that true? Okay.
I believe so. Again, I haven't played my Night Hunt in a minute.
Yep, I suppose that's correct. Yes, he does have the option of doing that.
Yeah.
Nothing stops it. And it looks like his swords are approaching here. Looks like he's trying to get a couple of heroes out of there with the swords.
Yep. Big benefit of countercasting your own manifestation turn 1 is that normally manifestations can't move the turn they're deployed, but if you countercast on your opponent's turn, when your turn rolls around, you can move it normally.
Mm-hmm. And Quicksilver swords are definitely going to be popular as they do not allow for ward saves.
Yes, absolutely. My Nurgle heart cries whenever those are cast against me.
Yep, and definitely against any Death Mirror matchups like this, it's always fun.
Yeah.
All right, so moving up is one solid wall here into the swords.
And a big block of blade guys, they can put out a lot of damage.
They sure can, as they get an extra attack on their charge.
Yes, and then they can also, if they have a hero or cavalry unit charge in as well, add up the extra plus or -1 armor, not +1 rend technically.
Yeah.
Which he could pretty easily do with the. maybe not
Oh.
easily. Could do it with the Dreadblade Heroes.
And the Craven Throne here, trying to make sure they stay within 3 so they can contest that for one of his tactics.
Yep. But again, as we mentioned, that front line of 5 individual Ghoul Kings is going to be a struggle to get through.
Yep, he's going to have to chew through that for a bit.
Because you can only, again, since it's 5 individual units, you can give one of them the -1 hit off a charge with the
Their charge effect.
That's it. Yeah.
Their spooky powers.
Wave
yeah.
of Terror. is
Wave
what
of
I'm
Terror.
looking
That's
for.
it. Yeah. But much like Area 51, they can't kill us all. So
that is true. Actually, speaking of Area 51, I always thought one of the chain gas with the 2 chains behind him looks like he's Naruto running. Reikenor looking like he's going to get a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he's just marking the range of the chain gas. I can't tell if he was measuring.
No, the chain gas have already moved to next to the rubble
but
here.
They're buff range though.
Yeah.
Because they have a 12-inch +1 to hit bubble.
Yeah, but if he's going to charge with the blade guys, he'll be outside of that bubble for sure. Reikenor here weighing his options. Oh,
okay,
going full aggro.
He was measuring the Reikenor move. I couldn't tell which one he was doing.
He is in it to win it for Reikenor here.
Yep.
And given that they're all wizards, like it's not terribly a bad idea here.
Yeah, Reikenor can do some damage against wizards. He gets +1 to hit and wound, and then I believe +1.
Oh, and there it is. The Black Coach is taking the once per turn teleport, looking to take on those Morbeg Knights here on the left.
Yep. Looks like he's probably going to be setting up to be a little more defensive, would be my guess, since he moved up that Cruel Gas for the extra protection from damage each phase.
Yep, it certainly looks that way here. And let's see here. I think, if I remember correctly, yep, and as a bonus here, the reason he's using the Black Coach to teleport is the Scourge of Gyran Black Coach can charge with 3d6. So the 9 is much more reasonable here.
Absolutely. It's below average to hit.
Yeah, and then Nexus of Grief is moving on up.
Yep.
So it looks like that is movement for David. Let's see if there's any redeploys in Fine.
Yeah, it looks like he's not teleporting the Dreadblades.
Yep. And I don't think he needs to, especially if the Harridans and the Dreadblades are both going to go into those Morbeg Knights on the right. There's absolutely no need here. Those charges are going to be very simple to achieve.
That is true. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked to see a Harridan charge. I'm not sold on a Blade Guy's charge.
I might see both of them just so the Dreadblades go in first, damage and wound the unit, so that the Harridans, by the time they activate,
that's
can
fair.
do some damage here. But at that point, the Morbeg Knights would have a chance to clap back. So maybe that's not what it has in mind. We'll have to see. That's just part of the game.
Yep. I would also not be shocked to see the swords get their charge off. So it looks like that's going to be a pretty easy 4 or 5 incher.
Oh, absolutely. And looks like we've got.
This is shooting from the crossbows.
The Craven Throne here. 4s, 3s with crit auto wound.
Yep, just like all Night Haunt.
Rend 1, damage 1. Night Haunt's kind of a plinker faction here.
Yes. Not a great roll there. Lost a lot of the attacks.
Yeah. They are not usually a super effective sniper unit there. They're usually just here for bonus damage kind of things.
And did clean up with the wound rolls. I think he only dropped one of the wound rolls.
Yep, that was nice. So here's comes Josh's armor saves. And I'm not sure what he's going to be saving on here, but it's probably going to be 5s and 6s, so.
For the ghouls.
Yeah.
I think they're 6s and 6s.
Okay.
So the -1 Ren went right through. Those were just ward saves.
Yeah. A bunch of the littles. Interesting call to try and shoot the littles here rather than try and see if he could take out one of the heroes just all in one go.
I imagine with the swords that are going to try to snipe one of the leaders.
Yeah.
Which then it really feels like that's maybe the best way to deal with them is to try to kill them one at a time. especially if it's on your turn when you can fight kind of on your terms.
Exactly.
You don't want to let them
Oh,
kill.
here's the charge. That's
Black
an
Coach
8.
charge?
That's an
That's
8
not
for the
enough.
Black Coach. Not
Gotta
enough.
re-roll it.
Here we go. Here's the reroll, and there we go. That's plenty.
is
That's plenty.
That.
That's a 13-inch charge. He's going wherever he wants.
And the new Black Coach, is it a choice it has to do to hit like a truck, or like an extra big truck?
So during a hero phase, it has the choice to choose between one of these effects. One is crit mortals instead of crit auto wounds.
Yeah, which
One
is really
is
good.
an extra 3 rally points to someone within 12 inches using rally, and then it's becoming Wizard 1. So
Yeah.
if you know you're going to get into the thick of it here, you probably go with the crit mortals just because.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Because what's the stat on the Rider's weapon? I know it's pretty impressive.
The Rider's weapon here is they're both 2 wounds each, so it's already good times here, and they're already at 2 Ren, so it's a pretty great time, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the Wraith spectral weapons are the only ones that are the crit crit mortals.
Correct.
They have 5 attacks, 3s, 2 Ren, 2 damage, but plus 1 charge damage. Normally crit auto wound, but I bet they're on crit mortals.
Yeah, so with a pretty decent roll here, that Black Coach could be the end of that unit.
Oh, he does charge it with the blade, guys. Okay.
Yeah, so he made it, and he made it with the swords too, it looks like.
Yep. I'm a little afraid of these blade guys. Nighthaunt is a weirdly not resilient army, since it's just the 4-up armor save, and then 6-up, maybe 5-up, depending on. It looks like he has a little token next to him, so maybe he gave them the 5-up.
So maybe they could discorporate. Yeah.
But a couple enraged Ghoul Kings could rip through them because they're just 1 wound each. There's only 20 wounds in that block.
True, but at the same time, Nighthaunt has some incredible recursion on it, so it's usually counterbalanced by the fact that they can just usually bring units back with impunity.
That is true. I imagine, I don't remember from the list specifically, but one of the most common, it costs points now, but command trait, or not command, it's not command traits anymore, heroic trait.
Yes.
Which is pretty much always taken, is to spend a command point to bring back a unit at half strength.
Yep. We don't have a Lady Olinner, though, here, which could normally also heal D3 units. Nagash, if he's in the army, could also bring back a whole new unit, too.
But, yeah. They do have a spell, though, and I don't remember if it's an unlimited spell or not, that can bring back models to units. And yeah, it looks like you were right. He charged in the Dreadblades and the Harridans. So probably going to start with the Dreadblades to get some damage on them, and then have the Harridans tear it up.
Yep, and in fact, Shade Mist is the unlimited spell in this army.
The -1 wound.
Yep. But there is one that allows you to return D6 health worth of models back to a unit. And Reikenor not going into the center scrum, but instead going into those Morbeg Knights.
Probably a little safer for him to do that. That center scrum is going to be a deadly place.
Yep, I think David's trying to make sure that he's trying to cut off the options of flanks.
Yes.
Oh, and Usharan has countercharged.
Yep, look at that.
Getting into the faction terrain here. He won't be able to use commands, but maybe he'll be able. But
he's going to be able to pile into Reikenor.
Yep, and natively, Usharan has. He's got the juice to be able to take on anything. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a Reikenor v. Usharan match. Reikenor good against Wizards. Usharan's another league.
He ain't that good, yeah.
Handing out his debuffs, it looks like. I would
looks like it's a Wave of Terror.
Yeah. So I'd guess -1 to save on the unit that is engaged by the coach, because that's the only debuff I can give out to them. And then -1, I would guess, to hit on the Morbegs on the other flank.
But he's got to choose which one of the 5 heroes there. There we go. Looks like one of them had a spell on him that he's trying to pick out in particular.
Yeah. You know what? It might be strike last on those Morbegs on the other side.
Could be, yeah.
And then -1 to hit on one of the Ghoul Kings.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we're getting Ushron's Rampage, I believe.
Yeah, would be my guess.
Yep, it was probably his Shroud Cage Fragment, where you can declare up to 3 enemy units in combat with him to be strike last if he can roll above their control score.
Which is easy for the Blade guys, a little tougher for Reikenor, but still not insanely tough.
Yep.
I believe he's just a 2 or a 3 would be my guess. Blade guys are just 1.
Yeah. Reikenor is, probably not that high. He's 5 at best, and I doubt it's 5.
I'd be shocked if he was 5.
No, Reikenor has a control score of 2.
Okay, so yeah, still pretty easy, just a 3 up.
Yep. The only thing that might have a 5 control score is probably the Black Coach.
I believe that is accurate, but the Scourge of Iran version might be different.
Yep, we'll just double check that here, because why not? Yes, it does have a control score of 5.
Okay.
And while we're talking about this here, and we're just taking a break real quick, I want to make sure that we had thrown a shout out here to Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice make the finest resin-based tokens here, and they have effectively some of the greatest dice here for custom for the armies of your choice here in Warhammer. So Baron of Dice is absolutely the place to go here if you're looking for some nice bling to match out.
And I will say, although this is an Age of Sigmar term, I don't want to draw too much attention away. Baron of Dice does dice for all sorts of minis games, including Trench Crusade, Warhammer 40k, Horus Heresy. For the most part, if a minis game is popular enough, he probably makes dice for them.
Yep. Including ones that have proprietary dice like Marvel Crisis Protocol and Star Wars Shatterpoint.
Yes.
Oh, there's some good saves there.
Yep. Did you catch what unit's fighting right this second?
I do not know. But it looks like a whole bunch of dice here.
Some ward saves from something. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, okay, so the Black Coach. Gotcha. Thank you. Oh, yep, and in fact, there go a whole lot of Morbeg Knights.
And I think it has another profile. That was probably just the Wraith weapon profile, would be my guess.
Yep.
The companion weapons aren't as scary, but they're not bad.
8 attacks at 4-3, 2-2. Crit auto wounds is still pretty good. So it looks like it's their turn for a clapback.
Okay, looks like that was. So
Not sure that was the right call for Josh, but as I would have attacked with something that hasn't gone yet.
Well,
in attempt to try and reduce their numbers, but
he wants to save the Ghoul Kings until one dies. Probably the ghouls themselves, I doubt they're those Blade guys are going to go into. Ushron's not scared of anything, and the Morbeg Knights on the other side, I think, have fight last.
Yeah, they have strike last. You're right. Maybe there's not much of a choice here. I personally probably would have been tempted to take Ushron and try and ace out Reikenor.
Yeah.
And maybe the train if I was feeling spicy.
Reikenor might have the debuff from the Shroud Cage, so.
That's fair. Ooh.
Rough saves there.
Yeah. Some lackluster stuff going on there. All right, we got Josh rolling in, and 4s. Ooh, not a lot of 4s there.
The downside of cavalry this edition, the mount attacks are not very impressive most of the time.
Yeah. And, ooh, so 6 wards here.
Save 2 of them.
Yep.
Rolls like that
not
are not going to take down a Black Coach anytime soon.
Nope. And there's 4 wounds on the Black Coach of its 12. So it's a 3rd down.
And it is, while it is large and in charge, it is not a monster, so it doesn't have to worry about a profile degrading.
Correct. It is the rarest of types, the War Machine.
Yes. it is worth noting both players are only down to 1 CP for the round, and we are getting to the end of it. So we might see some power throughs.
I could definitely see David using a power through on a couple of options here.
Yeah,
Maybe trying to clean off the last little bits of something or other.
absolutely.
And here we go. Looks like some attacks.
So you might know better than I do, since while I am now a St. Louis guy, I haven't played a ton of Sigmar in St. Louis. To me, David was always a Gitz guy. Has he been playing Nighthaunt long? Do you know?
David is a free spirit. He tends to go where he wants, and he does
Okay.
have a lot of experience with Gitz, especially the trolls. He does have a fair amount of Nighthaunt and a fair amount of play with them.
Okay.
And as we've said here, it's been a very consensual kind of opinion that Nighthaunt's going to do very well in this season.
I
So
agree.
that probably motivated his switch.
I can see that. So yeah, it looks like one of the Ghoul Kings did go down, I think, from the swords. He didn't roll near enough dice for that to be Blade Guys.
Yeah, that had to be the swords.
Which means that the others
One down,
are,
4
everything's
to go.
all enraged.
Yep. Looks like Josh is choosing a clapback target here. All right.
He's talking about Ushron attacks.
Yep. Needs 3s and 2s.
This is probably his good attacks, the D3
Yep.
plus 3. Ooh,
oh,
that's
oh,
rough.
that hurts.
Yeah, well, it does. Yeah, wounds on 2s at least, but
Yeah, it always hurts to see a
losing
1.
one of those. And Nighthaunt saves do not do the
Do
job.
not carry through.
That's a
8 damage coming
minimum
through into
damage
the
from the
wards.
2 attacks.
Oof. Still hurts.
Yes, and he has another profile.
Yep. Oop. Got the dice tray here knocked a little bit. Had a rogue die fall somewhere. Thank you, Kai. And here come the word saves.
Not very good ward saves.
Oh, no, those are not word saves. I'm sorry. Those are Ushron's other
Oh,
attacks
to the
here.
profile. Okay, he's probably
Yep.
saving up to
He's
all his
stacking
wards
up
at
the
once.
word saves over
I see
here
them
in
now,
the
yeah.
left. All right, now David's making his word saves.
I don't think this is enough
That
to
is
kill
not
Reikenor
enough.
even with.
That
Well,
is
maybe it
enough.
is.
That is plenty to lift him. 2,
Oh, 10
4,
10
6,
dice.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with the Scorporate. Yep, Reikenor is down before he's does a thing, and the swords go with him.
Yes.
Oof. So now he'll have to use the Black Coach if he ever wants to get any manifestations out. So let's see what David can do to make the capitalize on this here. It looks like the Dreadblades
Just to get it
piling in.
Yeah, obviously you want as much as possible, but at least one to make those Harridans go crazy.
Exactly.
It looks like he is probably maybe splitting his attacks. It looked like he was measuring.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 are gonna, maybe half of them are gonna go into Oosh, but half
Yeah.
are going to Morbegs. I don't know how I feel about that personally, but you know,
Because Ushron, I believe, still has his hero phase heal, which is a pretty good one.
yeah, I think I would. There's no kill like overkill is my philosophy.
So kind of looking back at David's placement of that Nexus of Grief, do you think dropping it that close in was maybe a mistake to give him that easy countercharge to get in?
Yeah, it definitely gave a target here. I'm not sure if he would have still had it with the 7-inch move from where he was.
He could have gotten into the
But
blade
I
guys, but
think he
I don't.
could have-
Yeah, I don't
he
think
would
I
have
don't,
had to-
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to get into Reikenor, I don't think.
Exactly. I agree with that. So here comes the Dreadblades.
They're not the hideous unit.
Oh, only a 3. Couple of auto wounds.
One did auto wound.
So it looks like we got 2 coming in.
Fail both.
Failed both. Ward saves. All right, we're gonna get done with all our attacks first here. Looks
Yeah,
like.
I would guess.
but odds are real solid here. Here come the oofs. Looks like one oof. And two are coming in from the oofs. Or are these the word saves?
I think these are saves.
Yep, I think those are word saves here, which means that while two did get saved, two are going through, and that's going to make the Dread Scythe Harridans go nuts.
Yeah, that's enough. But I think these are maybe into. I think these are into Ossiarch.
Yep. Yep, two going into Oosh. Looks like he got them both. Nope, no wards. And
I think these are hoof attacks. David's rolling these.
Yep.
Now here come the wards.
Here come the wards. Yep.
Or saves maybe.
Yep, saves. 5 up wards.
5 up ward.
And didn't save a 1. Shame. All right, so Ossiarch's taking a handful here of damage, but still a long way to go on him. A man like Ossiarch's probably got at least 16 wounds, you think?
He has 16 wounds.
Yep. All right, and then Josh here attacking. Ooh.
It is worth noting, though, he does have the D3 Your Hero phase heal.
Yeah.
So he's always going to be ticking that up every round.
So he's got to keep the pressure on if he wants to capitalize on the damage.
You got to one-shot him or keep it up.
Yep. And looks like one of the Ghoul Kings just activated and killed 3 of the Blade Geists.
That's fewer than I would have expected, but I guess their Corporate could have done some work.
Yep. There's 4 of them to go. And looks like the Dread Scythe Harridans, those ladies are about to go crazy on those Morbid Knights.
Yes.
Let's see David capitalize on this.
I don't foresee him wiping the unit, but they'll kill a couple of them.
I don't know, at 3-3-1-1, this should be pretty good here. This is about as optimal of a situation for them to be in as they can. So I don't know about wiping the unit, but I would expect at least 2 or 3 of these guys to bite it at the very least. Do the Morbid Knights have 4 wounds or 3
I believe
wounds?
they're 3.
Yeah.
Might be worth double checking, but I think 3.
If they're 3, it's going to not be an issue here, I think, for them. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's a nice Amita ball. Morbid Knights are 4 health. 4 health a pop at 4 up saves.
Oh, that's right. They were 3 health in 3rd, and all cavalry pretty much across the board got +1.
Got to remember, it's 4th ed. Cav is good. All right, and then wounds. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, got some through.
And I don't think there was an all-out defense declared. So it's going to be at save of 5 ups here. So as you can see, the pool here of successes with the auto wounds. Here comes the saves.
That is not a spectacular save.
No, looks like he did all-out defense, I guess.
Okay, that's good.
He is keeping the 4s, but still not a lot being saved. And here come the wards. I think 2.
Yeah, it looks like 2.
Oof.
That'll kill 2.5.
Yep.
It looks like because they had some damage on them.
Right, they had the damage from previous. That's what turned on the Harridans, yeah. So half the Morbid Knights out on both flanks, but it's cost them a Reikenor so far. That's
I don't know if I'd pay that.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if that's a great trade, but the Blade Guys have yet to go. So
yes, it looks like they're going now, though. I think just by force, so if that's the only option left.
No, it's one of the Abhorrent Ghoul Kings, I believe, attacking now. Because that was
okay.
just Night Hunt.
Oh,
So
you're right, yeah.
it's time for Flesh Eater Courts to take a smack.
Yes. And that's a lot of extra attacks.
Woof.
That's going to hurt.
Ooh.
Let's see if the 4-ups can save David.
Ooh. Saved a little bit. And wards are not helping David out. So there is another
5, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced these Blade Geists are going to survive the turn.
Yeah, if they've been struck last, they're losing a lot of their potency here. And so I think David's currently out of things until strike last territory, so we're just watching Ghoul Kings punish. Oof. Save one, take one. And, yep, 2 more. Down to half that unit.
Yep. And 2 more Ghoul Kings.
Ooh. I'd be sweating a little bit if I were David right now. That's right, come on. Just egging Josh on there a little bit.
Okay, not the best attack for those. All wounded, though.
Ooh, yep, works out in the end. And, yep,
There's
saved at least 2 of them. That's at least good. So that Night Haunt luck, ooh, but 2 more going down.
Yeah. The life of a Night Haunt player are the 4s with you.
That's right. Living on that 50-50. Oh, and now it's time for the Littles to get in here and have their say. Looks like not everyone's going to be able to participate.
Only
but
a couple of them are going to get in. And they don't hit particularly hard.
No. Josh, by the way, wearing a lovely motley cloak here to display his love for the Flesh Eater Court's delusion. And here they come. We're just talking through the math here real quick. Just make sure everyone knows the odds. Which, if you are new to the Age of Sigmar or wargaming in general, that is usually a great tactic to do here. Communication being clear and kind is usually the best way to go. As we say in my everyday job, communication clear is kind. So always be transparent and clear with your communication with your opponent, and you can help prevent any misunderstandings here.
Especially when as many dice as he's about to roll. Because even though their attacks aren't very good, they throw a lot of attacks.
True, this is the way to big numbers here.
Especially because I believe with all the damage that Ossiarch did, Feeding Frenzy is very active.
That's true. You ever see that movie Piranha 3D?
I have not seen Piranha 3D, but I bet it's a lot like this.
I feel like you're about to see it.
Yeah, it being worth noting that one of the Flesh Eater Court's primary faction mechanics is their heroes build up noble deed points when they do various things, casting, and namely fighting. Every wound they do in melee gets them a noble deed point. When they hit 6, it gives an aura, normally 12 inches of +1 attack for units.
Oof.
Ossiarch extends it, I believe, to 24 inches, if
oh,
not
my goodness.
longer.
My goodness. Yep, you're right. While he has 6 noble deed points, he extends the range of them to 24.
Yes. So especially while he's kind of centralized like he is, it's a lot of the board is going to have that.
Yeah, Ossiarch's going to have his pick of the litter here on this stuff.
Yeah. Now he will have to spend those noble deed points if he wants to resurrect units, the other primary Night Haunt mechanic. But Ossiarch does enough damage. If he's in combat, it's pretty hard for him not to cap out just from swinging once.
Yeah. Things are looking a little rough here, and we're just in the beginning of the game. And, word save's not helping. Oh. I believe that's the rest of the unit. Yeah, yep. Yep, Blade Geist never even got a chance to swing. Poor lads.
Yep, I think I might be a little premature to call it, but placing that Nexus of Grief there might have been.
That might have been the biggest mistake, yeah. Yeah, if we could pinpoint a single flaw, just a couple inches back, and he might have had that. Because, yeah, we saw how deadly those strike lasts can be.
Yes. While we're counting up some dice, let's thank another one of our sponsors, one that I've personally used, Schooner Labs. They're an Etsy store. They make game accessories, laser cut wood. So they do wound counters. They do all sorts of trackers for armies.
So you're going with the trade.
Yep, Schooner Labs is based out of Canada, and they do a great job at almost everything they do. Since we're also talking about some of our sponsors here, let's also talk about Buy the Same Token and Deep Cut Studios, another couple of great people who do stuff not just for Warhammer, but for a variety of war games and other games. Buy the Same Token has a variety of tokens no matter what you're into here in the tabletop gaming space. And Deep Cut Studios make fine neoprene products for just about any need you can think of. Oh, here we go. There was some decent saves there. But a Dreadblade is down.
And Dreadblades are not the strong, not the toughest unit, I should say.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of wounds in that 4-man unit.
Yeah, but the Shade Mist was hopefully mitigating some of that.
Absolutely. I think these are mount attacks.
Yep, four wounds.
And off the charge, the mount
Yep,
attacks
3.
are
Yeah.
probably the more scary attack on Morbeg Knights.
Yeah. And no saves on that. David's losing folks fast. We're going to have to find something here that can help him pull. All right. You know, Kai, we may need to get an update on the BPs. I don't think we got a score from them at Josh's turn. Okay. We'll do it at the end of the round. So. Absolutely. And let's see here, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's most likely a 10 for Josh because I don't believe he scored any tactics.
I don't believe so.
And it looks like David's spending his last command point here to power through.
Yep. Put a couple more damage, maybe clear out another Morbeg with a good roll.
Yep, as he can no longer control the horizontal ley line here. So just outside of combat there to do another handful of mortal wounds into them.
It is worth noting if he is able to kill another of the Morbegs with the mortals, he would have a pair at least.
True, and he would have enough to convert the point over. So I believe Morbegs are 2 control.
I believe so.
That feels right. No, they're only control 1, so the Black Coach will definitely have that.
Okay, he already has it.
Yep. And he most likely has the right one too, but unfortunately he has lost any hope of controlling that center.
Yes.
Which is unfortunately a real problem for David because that center objective is of vital importance to scoring a lot of the additional points here. So.
Yep. So he's going to have 8 points off the battle plan.
Yep.
And that might be all he's going to have.
Actually, he might have scored his first round for Scouting Force, as there are 3 or more friendly scout units wholly outside of friendly territory. Looks like David's only scoring 8. Prio going to Josh.
Yeah, he did not score the first of Scouting Force because with the Blade Geist dying, he only has 2 units, the Dread Size and the Dread Blades.
And the coach, yes?
It's only non-hero infantry and non-hero cavalry.
You're right. Scout models, right.
He is a war machine, not a cavalry.
True. Although you would think this lone hero over here.
Non-hero. He would have had to put
Nope,
either the crossbows or the.
My apologies. These
chain
tactics
gas
still
stuff.
very fresh for everyone.
Yes, very.
But that does make David the underdog.
So if there are any manifestations popped out,
They will
on
get
the
strike
objective-
first for him.
Yeah.
And,
then he'll have the +1 rend against them that Josh puts out.
Yep. Although currently no manifestations on the board due to a banish and then the slaying of the wizard in the previous round here. So it looks like we're getting an 8 on a casting roll.
Yeah. So it looks like Josh probably won the initiative and is taking the turn.
Yep.
No reason to
choose-
give your opponent a double here.
Yeah,
When
I
you're-
can't imagine.
When you're already kind of pressing the gas on him.
Yeah, he's in such an oppressive state. It would be the height of arrogance to, I think, see the double.
The only thing that might have made me think that is if you do give it to your opponent, you could theoretically have Ossiarch kill those last couple Dread Blades. That'll free him up for movement on your turn.
Yeah. Josh is indeed rolling quite hot here. Looks like all his abilities, everything's coming true. Everything's coming up Josh. Josh, of course, very stylish here today with his Feast Brigade jersey. And I don't think the camera can pick it up, but he's wearing some Bucky's Hawaiian shorts.
Ooh.
So, very fashion forward.
Yes. As a Hawaiian shirt aficionado, I very much support that.
Yeah. While we're taking a look here, we also wanted to make sure that we put a shout out here to Goblin Hobbies. Goblin Hobbies are makers of fine, I'm going to assume goblins. I'm not super familiar with Goblin Hobbies. But hopefully they're making goblins of some kind here. Looks like the chronomatic cogs are coming out.
Yep. Give a little protection from the shooting.
Against those crossbows, absolutely.
Also call out a Springfield local Ye Old Lasersmith. They do laser wood cutting, a lot of really cool things. He can make tokens, but he also makes like maps, like fantasy maps, where it's topographical, laid on top of each other. He does some really cool stuff with that. I actually got a gift for my wife, a Lord of the Rings one a few years ago.
Yeah, they look nice, and they are also here at Metagames Unlimited too. If you want to stop by, you can see some of his products here in person.
So it's like Ossiarch only healed 1, so that's as good as it can get for David there.
Yep, that's a point in his favor. And we know that Josh is going to score at least the first of one of his because a hero did die last turn. And see if he can take any of those treasure tokens off the map too.
All of the treasure tokens are at risk right now.
Absolutely.
He could probably send two of the Ghoul Kings after the crossbows, and one each after
that Crusader and then the chain gas.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And could realistically kill all 3 this turn. Maybe not easily, but it is possible.
Yeah, if they all get enraged and turn, absolutely. See here, it looks like there's Looks like David's weighing some options here, putting out his. Some hero face shenanigans. That's why. I was wondering. Oh, no, it looks like he's making a choice here for one of the Black Coach's abilities. I was wondering why he was backing it out of combat, as that only gives the Morbid Knights a charge, and I'm not sure that's the wisest thing to do.
I think the Morbid Knights have retreat and charge, so he's going to get charged no matter what.
That's fair. Surprised he didn't use a command point, though, to rally it since he gave it a shot. It's the only thing that seems to be rallyable at this point. But Morbid Knights sidling here to try and cover the center a little bit. Prevent a counter charge maybe later on in the turn. Yep, and there's those Morbid Knights. Just go ahead and walk away for free. And Don just coming by here, our TO here, just coming by to remind us that he loves us so very, very much.
And it kind of looks like, as predicted, we have danger coming for all three of those treasure units.
Absolutely. And thank you, Don. Just reminding me of prom night all over again. Yep, and here comes the parade of jerks. Some of those charges might be pretty dicey on those.
Yeah, not easy. But I do think it'll be pretty easy to get at least one of the treasures this round.
Absolutely.
That Krogast is not long for this world, short of a great redeploy.
Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, because I don't believe that Flesh Eater Courts have any mechanics to extend or to enhance any of their charges. So.
Not that I can think of. Looks like he is spending some Noble D points to bring back Morbegs.
Yep. Just can't keep a bad Cav unit down.
Yep. Those Ghoul Kings all got supercharged fighting the Blade Geists, so he can freely spend, especially since Usharon still has his massive area.
Yep, and honestly, this is the real danger for me playing Age of Sigmar is you see great games like this played, and you can't help going, I might want to start collecting that army, and then you have my problem where there's 7 armies in my basement, all in various states of completion.
When I recently moved from Springfield to St. Louis and got rid of most of my armies. I'm a 2-army guy now.
Oof. Yeah.
And back to the game, we did see the expected redeploy, but the dreaded 1.
Oh, boy.
So those are going to be some 4 to 5 inch charges for the Ghoul Kings to get in. Yeah. Honestly, maybe, I don't even know if I would have taken it, because now it's going to be easier for the Ghoul Kings to hit the charge and then pile into the crossbows.
Yeah. Yeah, the force is not with David, it seems.
Yeah, or if I had taken it, maybe just take it laterally.
And David's using a cross covering fire here.
Yep, probably hoping to kill one of them.
Yeah, what I would do too is I would try and see if I can slap out at least one of those Ghoul Kings. But the danger with that is that basically all he's doing is pissing the rest of them off.
Yeah, get them enraged.
It's a classic get them coming or going kind of scenario here.
Yes, this Ghoul King combo is really cool. Flesh Eater Courts was one of the armies that I got rid of when I moved. And I'm a little regretting
kicking yourself, yeah.
A little bit. This seems pretty fun.
Not to mention, while Nagash can be taken in any death army, this is definitely, Flesh Eater Courts is definitely the one that doesn't need him.
Correct.
They definitely look at him and go, now we're good.
You don't add anything we don't already do better.
Correct, and certainly not for his price point. Oh, and there goes.
One is down.
The one that had the most likely charge.
Yeah.
So that at least makes everything a little, if you'll pardon the pun, a little dicier.
Yes.
But
only 3 Ghoul Kings left, although they are enraged.
Yeah. Did you say they're underage?
I bet they're pretty old, actually.
I'll say I don't know if we can film this anymore. All right. And there goes the. Oh, look at that! Somehow they made the charge again. That's weird.
Yep. Easy 3-inch charge there.
Yep. Even with that one. Oh, and then the Morbags coming into the black coach.
That's more.
Somehow
than
they
enough.
made it. Somehow they made it.
Is that a 12? Yeah, that's a 12.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, he's just going wherever he
A
wants.
little unnecessary. Imagine he's going to go try to kill
Oh,
that.
yeah, he's just, why not? Why not, take a little extra while you're at it?
Yes. And we're
Yeah.
also about to see even more why the Cruel Gas has fallen out of favor compared to 3rd edition. When he used to just give a flat aura of -1 damage, now it just ignores the first damage point each phase.
And I don't think that's going to be enough to save that poor boy.
No, I don't think it's going to be enough to save a lot.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to see. Nope.
Those are some impact hits.
Yep. All right. Ooh.
Ooh.
I
Still
do
might.
not. Oh, I don't know. Ooh, that's very close. Is that a 5 or a 6 charge?
I think it's a 5.
5. Oh,
Which
looks
I
like
think was just
looks
what
like
he
it
needed.
just got in there. Just got in there. 5-inch charge. Just made it in there, and there we go. There's an 11.
That's a big one.
Yep.
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 Once again, Josh's dice certainly showing up in this match.
I have my sheet somewhere. Where did I put it? I just had that sheet.
And that's a 7.
7, I think. Yep. Which is
may
enough
not be able to
into
get in
that
there, but-
Hero. He might
but
reroll
yeah.
this one.
No, I think he's just accepting it.
Yeah, just not taking it.
That's good. Sometimes you got to learn, got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! 3-inch charge there.
Wow, that hurts.
Oof. And it looks like he's instead of it,
He's going to
he's
go
going to
into
make
the
lemonade out of lemons here and
Yeah.
pile into the terrain piece.
Oh no! Looks like they might not even have had the full 3
Oh,
with, the,
yeah.
with, the, with the cogs in the way.
Yeah,
Can't go straight in.
hoisted by his own petard. And while we're reeling from these most recent revelations here, let's go ahead and give a shout out here to Green Stuff World, another fine purveyor of hobby materials and accoutrements. If you're ever trying to take your models to the next level, Green Stuff World has what you need. And speaking of other products you can find here at Metagames, also Monument Hobbies, makers of the Pro Acryl paint line. Pro Acryl has an amazing line of paints that have a wonderful matte finish. I highly recommend them. I think they're some of the best acrylic paints on the market. Looks like we're getting some impact hits here, some shots coming down. We're just fishing out some tokens here on David's side.
Yep. While we're waiting for that, shout out another one of our sponsors, Monster Fight Club. They do gaming accessories for all sorts of games, including Age of Sigmar, but even a recent one that I was playing, the new Cyberpunk board game. I was actually recently eyeing some stuff for that from Monster Fight Club.
As a side note, did you see the new Cyberpunk card game?
I did. I put $1 down for
Night Crew.
Yeah.
Night Crew, yeah.
Yeah.
Same here. I'll always take an opportunity to revisit Night City. Absolutely. All right. Looks like we're getting things together here. Getting ready to go into our fight phase here proper. 3 auto wounds already coming in. That's really rough. This is one of the Aberrant Ghoul Kings. And 4 coming in. Ooh, not a lot of.
That's
Nah.
pretty. That's
Oh,
pretty rough.
Oh, David, you're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart.
And the ward save him.
Oh.
That is. I assume this is the one on the cruel gas. So.
Yeah, Anakin, you're breaking my heart. And there's a treasure token.
So we will unlock those 5 points
Yep.
and the 5 points. So he's going to have theoretically a 20-point turn.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this season here is that a 20-point swing is not uncommon in these games. It's not usually the end of the world to have a 20-point swing, but they can happen.
Yes.
Yeah, Kai, can we build a soundboard or anything like that of like little sounds we can put? I'd love to have a little soundboard where I can just.
Be like a.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart from Padme. Maybe he can't keep getting away with this. Breaking Bad.
Yeah, some morning talk radio stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We should absolutely be Drive Time AM radio disc jockeys here. We can be Brett and the Beef. So one of us has to have a weird nickname, of course.
Of course.
It's the rules. I don't make them up. Just the law. And another rough ward save roll here for David.
Next, I think that.
Oh,
yep.
and there go the.
A couple are left.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Honestly, I'm a little surprised that many lived.
Yeah. It's tough. All right, looks like we got the big Norbig Knights unit piling into the coach here. Possibly the last of real obstacles that David can throw into Josh's game plan here.
Now, you can still bring back 10 of the Blade Guys.
True.
Assuming the Cruel Gas didn't have his command.
I don't know who got the heroic trait. All I know is there were 2 heroes on the board. Now there's only 1.
There's about to be 0.
And yeah, there might be none, in fact. So, yep. Good. Looks like we got at least one guy going into that hero there. Oh, gosh, what a great roll. And honestly, that's just one of the great. If you want to get better at Age of Sigmar, honestly, best advice I'm going to give you is just roll 6s.
Yep, games are easy when you roll 6s.
Yep. Better lucky than good. Oh. Stop! He's already dead.
I mean, yes, they are all already dead. They're ghosts.
Yeah. The
And
dead versus Delulu. Yeah.
And he's not re-dead.
Yeah.
He's still holding on.
It's the dead versus the Delulu. Take the mounts now. My goodness. So we got 4 ward saves coming in so far.
Ooh,
Okay. A little bit of the brakes were put on here on the dice for Josh. About time.
Yeah, because he's been pretty on fire so far.
Yeah, because it's hard to believe this is only round 2.
Top of 2 with that.
Yeah. We are oof. All right, 8 ward saves into the black coach. And again, only 2 saved. Rough times at Ridgemont High.
Does the guy around Black Coach still have an improved ward save? Beyond
No.
Okay.
It does not, unfortunately. So that is 10 out of the 12.
It's almost down.
So David's going to try and get a little harm here back in. Going to pile into.
Yep, not gonna. There's not all that are going to be fighting, I don't think, though.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough for those back 3 here to get in there. Let's go ahead and give a shout out here to our to Mind Taker Miniatures. When you want your mind taken to miniature land, think Mind Taker. Sorry. And that's a pretty good roll there from David.
Yeah.
Finally, his dice are waking up here.
Yeah, I do think there is a couple damage still on those Morbegs, so the
Yeah.
Dread Scythe Harridans are still angry.
Yeah. So many checks. 5 ups.
Not great.
Yeah.
Handful of them.
Only 3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Oof.
So he's not wiping the unit off this, but
Oh, but he is getting close. I only see 2 successes.
he's going to kill 2 of them, and then I think 1 more damage will carry over.
Yeah. So the
Ossiarch's got to finish those Dreadblade Harrows or those last
or it could be the Morbid. It could be it for the Morbid Knights.
until they come back from those supercharged with Noble Deed points.
Of course, yeah. That's the fun part of Death Factions is you did it once. Can you do it twice? Yeah.
Not much stays dead. At least we don't have to deal with 3rd Ed OBR before their nerf.
Oh goodness, yeah. With those Gothazar Harvesters just recycling everybody back.
Or even,
All right, so Usharan obviously coming in here.
yeah. I assume he's probably just putting everything into those Dreadblades. I wouldn't risk.
Yeah, I wouldn't see a reason to do otherwise, honestly. 3s.
That's unfortunate.
Yep, all but 1. And then 2s. And there's everything there.
Let's see if the 4s are with him.
4 ups, 4 ups, 4 ups.
That's
Ooh,
pretty
3 out of
good.
4.
3 out of 4 ain't bad. And
Yep,
yeah,
not quite meatloaf odds, but better.
Yeah. So now we got to see how many of the claws can get through.
Ooh,
That's a lot of 2s and 1s.
yeah, not great, but it doesn't need to be super great for to sneak in here.
Let's see if he can keep the 4s going.
Oh
okay.
gosh, oh jeez.
So he's going to have 10 wards coming in.
Oh.
And did not roll very well.
Might need to get some preparation H here for David later. Jeez. Oh, that wasn't the
Oh, he
Dread
went to
Scythe
the Dread Scythe
Harridans.
Harridans. Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually a little
That's
shocking.
that cripples the unit though pretty hard.
I guess he's figuring he has the Noble Deed points to bring back the Morbegs if the Dreadblades do kill that last one.
Yeah, and if he brings them out, he can bring them into position to go cause havoc somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Which does make it tough if theoretically David to cost his opponent points. Because at this point, I don't think it's a while to say the game's on its way to being over for David.
He's
But in a
definitely
team-
on the ropes.
But in a team event, he wants to keep his opponent from getting as many victory points as possible. That matters a lot more than in a standard
Correct.
tournament. And he would want to run his stuff away because his stuff is pretty fast. But as soon as he kills units, they can come in from any board edge within 6. So he wants
Yep.
to avoid the board edges, which would drive him towards the middle of the map, but the middle of the map's where all the stuff is.
Right. But yeah, it's absolutely a true point here that in a team matchup, David might be not doing a good place individually, but he does need to score as many points so that his team overall can help succeed. And looks like a couple points on the next to Born Cool King.
Yep, not enough to kill,
Crossbows
though.
doing a little damage here with their crossbows and melee. And the lone Morbeg Knight, the Undon Quixote. Oh, he's going to try and see if he can polish off the Harridans, which I understand. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it makes some sense.
Looks like he's weighing his options here. And while he's doing that, let's go ahead and do a big shout out to Tabletop Terrain. Tabletop Terrain makes several nice terrain pieces, including a few abilities which are on this table, and help bring your battlefields to life. Only one coming through. 4 ups, 4! Oh, there we go.
These are the mount attacks.
Yeah. Oh, mount attacks coming through though in force. Ooh,
At
take
one of
one.
them.
Yep, game one, take one.
And take both.
Oh, yep. That killed killed them, one of the horses. So leaving units crippled, but not gone. That's probably to David's advantage. All right, Black Coach.
Yeah, see what this Black
Gets a little
Coach is going to do.
revenge.
Not on the charge anymore, so its damage is cut by a fair amount.
Yep, and he's trying to see how he can try and change things here to his favor here. See if he can use a pile into his advantage. Yep, gonna scooch here a little bit so he can continue control of that back building there.
It is worth noting he is going to maintain control of that objective.
And everyone on camera, just remember that you just saw David's passcode for his phone. So in case you get his phone later on, you know how to unlock it. And if you do, you can always PayPal him and at feeple@gmail.com. You can send him any PayPal you want to send that way. Okay, and here we go. I believe he just all out attacked. Yep, he just spent a command point for all out attack.
Ugh,
Not
that's rough.
that it helped him out a bunch, unfortunately. And then here we go. Ooh.
Ew,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Brutal to watch.
Yeah, David, I think needs to go over to the candy store-like aisle here of Metagames Unlimited and maybe buy some new dice. Certainly
It's
not showing up in force.
It's funny when the little support hero does more damage than the Black Coach.
He's the little engine that could. Up, and here comes I believe that's the Lord Executioner.
Making sure he's dodging that combat range of that last Ghoul King.
Yep.
Don't want to risk that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get near him either. All right. Solid start. Oh, goodness. Ugh. And some damage here, certainly, but not enough. We got several great people out here in full force here. We got some fun folks in costume. We have a chef running around with a pan full of cooked dice. It's pretty great. I'm wondering if there's a little Skaven underneath that hat, though. Here we go.
I think Ratatouille would have been a much different movie if it was a Skaven under there instead of Remy.
He just has that kid just make a warpstone lightning gun and
Yeah.
blows up the restaurant in a horrific accident. You know, actually, I'd watch that.
I would too.
Let's go ahead and give a shout out to the Mad Goose. Mad Goose, one of the sponsors here of the Summergeddon Super Squad series. Mad Goose is both a bird and he is upset. Both things are true. Apologies, Mad Goose. That is a 16-point round for Josh.
Okay.
My goodness, my goodness. So current score are 8-26 as we go into the bottom of round 2. Yep. Aaron, I'm sorry that you weren't here in person either. This is a great time. It's great camaraderie and great fellowship for AOS players. You know, I've often said that as the male loneliness epidemic, and you know, as the tried and true wisdom that it gets harder to make friends as you age older as a guy. Honestly, Age of Sigmar is a great place. Warhammer in general is a great place to come make some friends. It's a creative hobby. It's a hobby you can do while you're alone. It's a hobby you can do with others. And generally speaking, it's a great time to just spend some time out with other people and make some friends for life, maybe. All right, David's using a command check here. It looks like he's trying to rally possibly the Harridans.
Yeah. So
Got 3 of them back. Nicely done, nicely done.
Yeah, so going back to that last turn, we were talking about it could have been a 20-point turn. Him leaving that coach and not wiping the Harridans definitely cost him there.
Yep.
Because he lost those 4 points for the pair and the line.
Yep, as I don't believe and he does not have control of the top red either.
Yeah.
Just barely edged out of that, too.
Yeah, one too few.
Let's see. David's in a rough spot, but this is not something. This is all surmountable.
Yeah.
Looks like he's trying to banish the cogs. And unsuccessful, it seems.
Yeah, it looks like he only got a 4, I think I saw.
Oof.
Yes, linked ley lines is the mission, Aaron.
Yes, this is linked ley lines. This is the bottom of round 2, and it is David's hero phase currently.
And pretty soon we'll be seeing if it was the cruel gas that had the heroic trait or not. Whether
Yep.
or not those blade guys come back.
Yep, I definitely see it. And once again, it's a beautiful day here in Springfield, Missouri at Metagames Unlimited on Sunshine. If you're in the area, we highly encourage you to come check it out. Even if you're just a little curious, a little interested in Age of Sigmar, come on out, see what the hobby's all about. We'd be more than happy to, give you a tour here. I know that you can meet some of our lovely folks, and you can also meet Don. So yeah, there's a couple of interesting options here. Like I said, David's in a bit of a tricky pickle, as we like to say back in St. Louis. But I don't think it's something that he can't work his way out of. And again, as we've said before, this is a team format event here. So just because David might be a little behind the 8 ball on this doesn't mean that he should be giving up.
Yes, he still wants to score as many points as possible, even if he's going to lose, and keep his opponent from scoring as many as possible.
Absolutely. You should always try and fight tooth and nail in these kind of matches.
So Josh is sitting on 2 command points. You have to wonder if he's going to hold those specifically for a counter charge or not.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go. The chain gas taking the once per turn teleport
Okay.
to grab both, and now he'll have the pair of reds. Still won't have a ley line connection here because blue is solidly in control.
But that is, so the reason I was thinking with the 2 for a counter charge, if he does retreat those crossbows, A, they're probably going to take some damage, and B, a counter charge from the Ghoul Kings could easily
Easily
wipe
be a
those last
ruiner.
5.
Yeah. It looks like the next set of grief is coming on up.
Yep.
Oh, right up there, pinning the black coach in there. So black coach has no choice. It's make it or break it time for him. Ooh. 2 mortal wounds to the crossbows as they retreat. Trying to open it up here so maybe they can get a shot off. Except they have retreated, so I don't believe that they can still shoot.
I believe that. I don't think they have retreat and shoot.
Yeah. I don't believe Nighthaunt allows them to retreat for free, so. Or without consequences, at least.
So now we'll see if Josh is going to hold those 2 command points for a counter charge, although he doesn't need to. He does control that objective with 4 to 3.
Correct. And if I were Josh, I'd be tempted to just go ahead and do it, given how everything's been working out so far, just to take that extra treasure token. So at that point, yeah, that would be 2 out of the 3.
A 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's right. Mr. Loaf taught us that. And, oh.
So he's using the
charging.
Nighthaunt ability to charge while he's in combat to keep the Wave of Terror going.
Absolutely. Ooh, and the Executioner charging in as well. Trying to desperately maintain control of this left objective.
Yep.
Another 9-inch charge.
The Harridan's going in.
Yep, Harridan's just sliding right into DMs. Looks like Dave is just looking for a landing zone.
And they don't have a safe charge area from Ossiarch. And it does look like, as the Blade guys didn't come in, I think it is a pretty safe bet that the Cruel Gas did have the Ruler of the Spectral Host heroic trait.
Yep.
Not guaranteed, but looks like he is hopefully just keeping Ossiarch out. Although,
Yep, putting the maximum range away from the Morbeg to still be illegal.
although Ossiarch can still pile in, I probably would have retreated that Dreadblade so that Ossiarch couldn't pile in.
Right.
That could have been something that he could have pre-measured to protect himself from. Because right now Ossiarch can just activate and whack him. But at least he can't give him fight last.
True.
And I imagine we'll see some, Wave of Terror passed out. I imagine
from both of them, yep.
Strike last and -1 save over there and -1 to hit on that Morbeg.
And then Ossiarch making
The
the
Dreadblade
Dreadblade
will
strike last. Which means that Dreadblade may not strike at all.
Nope. Yeah, I think retreating that Dreadblade probably would have been the better move there.
Agreed. Give a quick shout out to Pro Painted Studios, one of the other sponsors here for the Summergeddon Super Squad series. Pro Painted Studios, obviously, as their name implies, pro paint your miniatures to a high standard. So if you're not all that thrilled with the paint side of the hobby, which is totally fair, think of Pro Painted Studios next time you might get something commissioned, or even if you just want something to just look a little nicer than normal. All right, Black Coach making a little bit of a pile in here. Quick stat check.
And importantly, since he was able to use the Nighthaunt ability to charge while he's in combat, does get his +1 damage charge ability.
Correct.
It does look like I didn't see a single 6 in there for the crit mortals, which is unfortunate.
There were 2 off on the side here, so I think
are
those
there?
were
Okay,
crits. Yeah.
I must have missed those. Okay.
There we go.
And the companion attack. Oh,
Oh, jeez, Josh.
not
Come
like
on.
this.
Come on, buddy. I know we're making death jokes here today, but you could throw him a bone, man. Come on.
Ha.
Definitely some dead ones here. It looks like Rough, rough, rough. And indeed, looks like it's Ossiarch trying to cut the head off the pass here.
Yep, let's kill the Harridans.
Yep, pile into the Harridans.
And I think that does get him on the objective as well. He needed just that little
Yep.
fraction of an inch.
Yep. Josh nudging that Dreadblade, but it's okay, Josh. Positions and models are just suggestions. Just giving him trouble. It's not a miniatures game until you've accidentally nudged a couple of things.
And it looked like he was measuring the feeding frenzy range, and they are still in. That 24-inch bubble
yeah.
is huge.
Oof. It's so rough. You know, that's one of the challenges with Flesh Eater Courts is target priority is certainly a confusing issue to tackle.
Yeah, and you can easily, less so with Ossiarch because it's so big, but with if he was counting on feeding frenzy off those Ghoul Kings, for example, it's easy to just not be thinking and pile out of the area for another unit that you were counting on the feeding frenzy for.
Exactly. Ooh, some lackluster rolls there.
Okay.
All right, at least one coming through. Oh, David. Oh.
Oh, there's 6 damage from that alone.
Oh, David.
Oh, a little weak on the claws. Oh.
David. Oh, no. Oh.
And there go the Dread side.
Oh,
There it
boy.
is.
And there go the ladies. Goodbye, ladies. We hardly knew you.
Yeah, F.
Big F.
Thanks, Aaron. F's in the chat.
F's in the chat. All right, looks like it's the Lord Executioner's turn to take a whack at these Morbegs.
I don't know why he's not attacking with that Dreadblade Harrow. He could maybe knock off that last
Strike
Morbeg.
last. Strike
Oh,
last
you're
is a
right.
Ossiarch.
Yeah, I forgot the Shroud Cage.
All right. There's some good stuff. All right. So 8 damage coming in here to those Morbeg
Yep.
Knights.
Maybe pick up another 1 or 2 of them. Oh.
Boom! Yep.
Yeah. Does make it a little easier. Doesn't have to change his marker. It was exactly
Yeah.
2 of them.
Although I gotta ask, Josh was our announcer yesterday. Josh, where was this energy yesterday, buddy? Sounds like a golf game yesterday. Now all of a sudden it's all over the place. Big theater kid energy coming out of Josh, which is a joke because he's a theater teacher by trade.
I think this Dreadblade Harrow. Oh.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, David. Oh.
And the Dreadblade Harrow lives another second.
Oof. Clinging to life. And let's give a shout out to another sponsor here, the Army Painter. The Army Painter makes several great paint lines, no matter what you're into. If you're looking for just quick and dirty, they have their Speed Paint line 2.0. Works out great with him in their metallics, as well as their Fanatic Paint line also works wonders. Army Painter makes great paints here, and I highly recommend them. All right. Some strongs. Oh, there we go. Finally, Night on saves coming out to play.
Yep. I think whichever one he's fighting, I assume the Black Coach, it is in danger.
No, the Black Coach is absolutely I'm in danger.jpg. 2 damage. All right. He's got to do it. David's got to do it. Oh! 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 No!
Not
No!
like this.
No!
Not like this.
No! There goes the blackest of coaches. Forget all the white paint on that. It was a black coach. Oh. Oh. It's another rainy night on Poopy Mountain here for David.
And for those keeping track at home, David is down to 7 models on the table.
Oof. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Little bits. Ooh. Oh. Nice pair of snake eyes there.
But it's still not quite enough to kill that last Morbeg.
Yep. Healing 3 from the Nexus of Grief. And bringing 2 back.
Oh, and that is enough
There we
to
go.
give him control of the objective again.
Way
So
to
it seems-
way to reconvert the point there in the last minute there, David.
That seems like Josh maybe should have held on those command points for a counter charge.
Yeah, I would have been sorely tempted to charge in there and just polish it off.
Yeah, finish the unit.
All
So
right.
it looks like a 8-point turn for David there.
16 to 26.
Not
and-
insurmountable from a pure point perspective. From a board perspective, little tougher.
Yeah. All right. David's still underdog here. Looks like they're making the choices. David is taking the
doubling.
All right.
I think that's probably the right choice in this at this point. Just to
that does
score
make Josh
as
the
many
underdog.
points as you can.
Yep, he's got to make his valiant last stand here because he'll either have to push
I don't-
through in a couple pieces or he
I don't,
won't.
I don't think he's going to have much of an army left after Josh's next turn.
Yeah, or even this one maybe.
Yeah, depending on how he does it.
Because again, either of those Aberrant Ghoul Kings countercharging into those crossbows.
This is a rally on
Looks
the
like a rally.
crossbows.
Oh,
Only
God,
one.
Only one. Good Lord. If anyone wants to donate to a PayPal fund or GoFundMe here for new dice for David, sure would be handy here for him, I think.
He would certainly thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah, he's only down 10, so he wouldn't be able to score tactics.
correct. Most of his tactics are unavailable to him. It's tough times at Ridgemont High here. The Aberrant Ghoul Kings healing up.
Yep.
Oh. Just insult to injury here.
Yeah. Theoretically, the crossbows could probably lift one of the Ghoul Kings, but the other is still going to eat their
Oh.
lunch.
And yep, there we go. Teleport from the Dread by just going ahead and getting the heck out of Dodge. Or as my grandmother used to say, let's blow this popsicle stand. Which is funny because I don't think I ever saw her eat a popsicle in her life.
Like she's blowing up all popsicle stands.
She was blowing them all, yeah. Pretty sure she thought a bomb pop was a piece of material, anti-war material. Here we go. The crossbow's also teleporting,
He's
saying
just-
nuts to this whole engagement.
yeah, ceding that point.
Looks like in an attempt to try and maybe take this house or try to do some damage to those Morbeg Knights, try and help the Executioner get out of his current predicament.
It's like the Executioner is his hardest hitting piece remaining.
Yep. Don't forget that treasure token, David. Yep, there we go. Yep, still two treasure tokens on the table for Josh. Ooh, Nexus of Grief. Zorpadorping here. And again, I don't know about this. It just gives them more big knights into their charge target here. Like, I understand the point of it, of try to charge that so you can't charge the crossbows, but it's a dicey play here for him.
I think that's pretty much all David's down to is dicey plays.
That's fair.
He's consolidating his forces.
Guests, yep, wrapping around here. Looks like he's trying to score at least holding on to objectives and terrain, perhaps. As this would be three scout units.
Yep.
Outside, because again, it's a team event, so the name of the game is to claw as many points as you can out of the game, not necessarily to win, although winning helps. I agree, Aaron. I'm not sure moving terrain here is the call here, but it's David's game, and I've seen people do smarter stuff. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Ossiarch getting a 6 redeploy. Good lord!
Yeah, he's not on the point, but he is.
Oh, sweet Nagash. Just making life easier for him. Josh always here, always a McBride, never McBride's maid. Once again, we want to thank one of our sponsors here, Urban Mats. Urban Mats makes neoprene mats that are finely made here, and they are wonderful for enhancing your play area if you ever want to try and bring a little life to it.
This is a crossbows shooting the Morbegs, I imagine.
Yep. Ooh. All right. Every point counts. Every point counts, David.
Yep. Charge in combat again to keep the Wave of Terror going.
Charging makes me feel good.
Almost certainly giving them -1 save.
Absolutely. I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't. As I don't think the hero can give them strike last.
Hero can. Heroes can give anything.
Oh, the hero can? Okay.
Yep. Hero is, in fact, the only that can give strike last.
Okay, gotcha.
But heroes can also give any of the lower ones.
Yeah.
But there's only going to be one combat, so the strike last is not important.
That's a fair point.
Ew.
Two coming in to Josh here. Oh my goodness, Josh. Oh, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee here.
I think it's more floating like a butterfly, stinging like a butterfly.
Not on Josh's end. Josh has been stinging like a
like a
sting
swarm
like
of bees.
Like a word I can't say on YouTube. All right. Oh. Oh my goodness. Woof.
It's a lot of mount hits. Jeez.
Josh, it's just excessive. It's just excessive, buddy. Like and I just made eye contact when I said that to Josh, and he's got nothing but a poop-eating grin on his face. Which I admit, if I were in his position, I'd probably be giving him one too. So,
Okay, he's still up. He's still up.
Yep. 2 wounds on the Executioner.
3 wounds on
3
the
wounds,
execution.
excuse me. Oh, and another. Oof.
The crossbows
And then-
coming back,
Yep,
and they're
healing the crossbows. And healed the Executioner for a bit. Oh,
Yep.
that's a nice. 3 more crossbows. It's nice.
I say that's the reason to bring the train over is to get the crossbows as healthy
Yeah.
as possible. Because you're going to be counting on covering fire for whatever goes in and try to kill them regardless.
True. Although they're in a bad position with Ossiarch going to be coming down the south here.
Yeah. At least Ossiarch's probably going to have to go through the chain gas first. Not that they're
Yeah.
much of a speed bump, but they are a little bit of one.
It's a very much the way stuck in the middle with you kind of situation for those guys.
Very.
But given his propensity for teleporting here, you know, is anyone? Are you ever really truly pinned in with Night Haunt?
No, you're not.
All right. So bottom of 3 here as we move into Josh's turn after a double. Can we get a score on David? What did he score here this turn? So I think he scored
6. 3 for 1, 3 for 2, but he doesn't have any pairs or a ley line,
yeah.
and he can't do a battle tactic.
Yep, as the Executioner is the 3rd unit, and it can't be. Or no, he could do a battle tactic. There are 3 units.
He doubled. He can't do battle tactic.
Correct. Yes.
He's not down. He wasn't down enough to battle tactic with the double.
Yeah. You have to now be down by 15.
Something like that. I don't remember the exact number. I bet we can figure it out within a second, though.
Yep. Here we go.
Down by 11, Aaron says.
Down by 11.
Which is what I
now.
was thinking it was, but wasn't 100% positive.
Which means that David was just out,
yeah,
just
he was
outside
only,
of that.
yeah, down 10 instead of 11.
Oof. Thank you, Aaron.
And unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to be scoring that tactic at all when Ossiarch comes and kills those.
Yeah, at that point he
chain
will
gas.
be. Yeah.
There won't be enough units to
Yep.
scout.
Two command points left per side, though, so
Yep.
still plenty of surprises left.
I'm going to guess we're going to see a covering fire and a redeploy from David.
That's what I would assume as well.
And for Josh, probably a reroll charge and maybe an all
An
attack or
AOD,
something. Yeah.
AOD, AOA, yeah.
Yeah. Not a ton left that he needs to spend on.
Yeah, I figure it's a lot of command points are just superfluous at this point.
Yes, as we are going into bottom of 3.
That's right. It's not pronounced superfluous. It's superfluous.
Superfluous.
Tell all your friends. See, yesterday Josh was here trying to educate you. I'm just going to misinform and lie. I'm going to teach you about the forbidden words like unregardless.
I missed what happened. Why did those chain gas vanish?
I don't know. There's still one, I believe,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know what happened to the other. Is the question here? Maybe maybe it redeployed under the awning there.
Oh, maybe.
I only see one. What's up? Ah, they died from a spell. Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Died to a spell. Got it.
So I know we've been talking about Josh getting a 20-point turn. I think this is going to be a 20-point turn.
Yeah, he's going to make some big swings here for sure. Oh, and the Morbid Knights. Oh, that's such a good move. Retreating out.
Yeah, with a retreat and charge.
Not to mention to let the littles in, and that last abhorrent Ghoul King.
Yep.
Once again, thanks to our most favorite of sponsors here, Metagames Unlimited, Gray Matter Gaming, Starforged, and Artist Opus Brushes.
Without them, this event would not be what it is.
Yep. Sponsors like this make the magic happen. Ossiarch, big moves here.
Yep.
Oh, that's a scary man coming in for a scary land.
I bet we might see a auto 6 run on that Morbeg to get him onto that objective so that Ossiarch can charge off of it and still take it. If he doesn't take that, he's just leaving 3 points off the table.
Yeah.
Or on the table, I should say. Oh, he's
And
rolling it.
just rolling it.
Ah, okay.
5 will get it. 5 will get it.
Never punished. Oh, he's not. So he's
going for the corners.
Oh, okay, he's going for the tactic.
There we go.
Not
David
sure.
being a true scholar and a gentleman, helping out his opponent here.
Not sure if I like that. I think I'd rather have one of my units hopefully get killed, maybe by those crossbows, and then res him to get back in the corner.
I feel like at this point he's going to own the horizontal ley line, which means that at this point,
I guess that's fair.
gonna have
All he has to do is kill.
not to mention a tactic is going to be worth 5 points as opposed to only a 3.
That's true. Okay.
So I could see the logic in it.
I think you convinced me.
Yeah. I think there's a 4-inch
pretty good
redeploy. That's going to make that charge for Ossiarch real dicey. It's
probably like a 9 or a 10 maybe.
Yeah, it might even be a little longer than that, depending on how Ossiarch's base size.
And how
depends on the footprint of that
footprint
building.
of the building, yeah.
So I know there's a little bit of an awning there, so who knows. You know, honestly, we haven't mentioned it here, but this gorgeous terrain. I really enjoy this ramshackle village here.
It definitely feels thematic for a death-on-death battle.
Absolutely.
The nexuses of grief look like they could just be other terrain pieces.
Exactly, they're fitting well in here. And it looks like we're getting the covering fire in. Crossbows also forced to go into the Crypt Guard because they are now the closest unit.
Yes.
Which means the Morbid Knights are safe yet again. Another example of how clever play can get you out of situations that you normally would find pretty tough. Ooh. Madness. Ooh, word rolls didn't go well there, but that's okay. He's got bodies to spare here.
Yeah, if all you're doing is killing ghouls at this point in the game, you're probably feeling pretty good.
Yep.
Or the ghoul owner is feeling pretty good, I should
Yeah.
say. David's probably not feeling that good about it.
Yeah, David's making the best of a bad situation here for
Yes,
certain.
absolutely. Because, again, can't stress this enough in a team tournament. All you want to do in situations like this is score as many points as you can.
That's right. Wring as much value as you can out of this. That's a 7.
I believe this is the Ossiarch charge, so he's re-rolling
Yep.
it. Yep, with the CP to re-roll. Ooh,
9.
9 might do it.
9 going to do it? Is 9 going to do it? Oh, I don't think so. Oh, I don't think so. Oh, missing that charge is such a big deal.
Yeah, because this now lets David potentially do a tactic next
Yeah.
turn. Not in range, confirmed.
Yep, not in range. Good deal, good deal.
And there's a double 1
Oh,
charge.
double 1.
And he's already used that reroll.
That's right. Dice gonna dice. Finally paying for all those 6s he's been rolling.
He has a +1 to charge, so
but
he
has
still
a
gets
plus,
it.
he's a +1 to charge. Josh. Josh.
We're nothing if not a little bit crazy.
Kingpin.
Josh, take your medication, man. Good Lord.
Hey guys,
Warbake's coming on in. Oh,
I
that,
don't think this Lord Executioner is going to make it.
Well, that Lord is, yeah. Lord Execution is looking rough. Quick, David. Countercharge with the Lord Executioner. At least the Abhorrent Ghoul King isn't enraged, I think. So at least that's a somewhat shiny part of this bubble. But
Now, I think he is within range of the 12-inch bubble for the +1 attack that stacks, but he's not in range.
well, he's still in the range for the 24.
Well,
probably,
but
with
also
Ushran, but
the other
yeah.
Ghoul King's passive gives their own 12-inch bubble.
Yeah, that's
He has a lot of extra attacks right now. But it could be more.
thank goodness it's not cumulative, right?
I believe that one. I think that one is cumulative.
What?
The 12-inch bubble one, I think, is.
Oh my lord! Yeah, no wonder you're taking 5 of those little jerks. Oh, Josh, rolling like a king.
A Ghoul King.
Yeah, an abhorrent. Oh, there we go. Cool down a little. Two, not bad, not bad. Oh, David. There goes the Lord Executioner.
Yep. R.I.P.
Again.
Rip in pieces.
Yep. Rip and tear. Some more crossbows come back.
Yep.
Oh, and we
And
got a
pony.
horse.
He gets a pony.
We got a pony.
All right, so. Oh, is he bringing back? He's bringing back a chain ghast also.
Oh, there we go. Nicely done.
That was probably
right.
best case scenario
That's
for
right.
David.
Take every advantage you can.
Yep. Because now he's actually pretty well positioned. I don't know if he's going to take any any ley lines or pairs of objectives, but he could teleport enough to still do some work, get some points this
True.
turn.
All right. Pryo here for round 4.
I believe Josh won it. He's thinking.
Yep. Does he want to
15 points for
point
Josh
round.
confirmed.
22 to 41?
Now Josh has to decide if giving up battle tactics this turn is worth probably wiping Josh off the map. Or, sorry, wiping David off the map.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm from St. Louis, so I do always enjoy rubbing David off. He did take the double, which means he lost one of the troubles.
Treasure, yeah.
Lost one of the treasures. Making David underdog once again. Stacking out what might be beaver chips. I don't know what they're using for command points over there. They look like little slices of potatoes. I know they're not. They're like little gold tokens, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're little gold dwarven tokens.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I love those guys. And Ossiarch healing 1.
Unfortunately, Ossiarch has not taken much damage, so even healing
beyond
the
those-
1 is a good amount for him.
Yeah, beyond taking those 5 early on, I don't think he's taken much else. Casting some spizzels with his wizards. Yeah. Just within that bubble. Checking for those extra attacks here. Oh, no. Look at that. Even fewer health. Oh, my goodness. Josh just straight up joshing it. All right. Rally check here. Oh, we got 3.
Yep. Another Dreadblade Hero's back.
That's right. Not many people know this, but David, eager My Little Pony fan.
So taking a look at the current results from this team matchup, again, Mediocre Midwesterners versus Feast Brigade.
Yes, absolutely.
Currently, Mediocre, only one game has been resolved. The Mediocre Midwesterners had a strange score. One of their players won with 18 points and beat his opponent who only had 2 points. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but...
Yeah, Jimmy Rudloff is a very good player.
But Mediocre Midwesterners are currently ahead in the team head-to-head.
But still a lot of AOS to resolve.
Lots of games left.
Still plenty of time for this to go anyway. Ossiarch still bullying his way slowly up the board here.
Yep. Chugga,
Just coming for you. The other Morbid Knights going to the other corner here.
Yep,
Again,
trying to
just
set
setting
up
up
that tactic.
the last play. Yep.
And I assume he's going to send the ghouls forward to absorb the covering fire from crossbows.
Yep, so that the Abhorrent Ghoul Kings can go in and do the work with Ossiarch here.
Yeah. Just make sure they're a fraction of an inch closer, so they're the forced target.
Yep.
So as soon as Josh kills one of those last 3 units, that mostly locks David out of tactics.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot here. And Jimmy coming by here, congratulating David on his position, talking about his results. Ooh. Only runs for 1.
Yeah.
Not quite far.
leaving the board very open. If things don't go well, giving David options to score points.
Very true. Very true. And while I do think that Josh has the upper hand in general, again, the Nighthawk's maneuverability here means that it doesn't take long for David to go ahead and make some surprise moves.
Yes.
Josh has to be very careful about his CP usage here so that he doesn't necessarily get caught with his pants down here when it comes time for David's turn.
But he is spending some Noble Deed points to bring back ghouls. Not shocking, because he has plenty of them. His entire army is still in the Ossiarch bubble, so all the points on those Ghoul Kings.
Yep.
I guess not his entire army. Those two far more begs are not, but.
Josh and Adam Sandler have two things in common, and it's Mr. Deeds. Yeah, it wasn't a great joke. They can't all be good. I'm sorry. Listen, no one bats at 1,000.
All right. This is covering fire, I have to imagine.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, four coming in here into those ghouls. Did David grab him by the ghoulies?
Saved one of them, so.
Yeah. Yep. There's another 6 of those ghouls, so much for Noble Deeds, but at least that keeps the unit on the table and relevant.
Keeps it at parity where it was.
Charges.
I think we'll see at least an Ossiarch.
Yep, let's scoot those dice out of the way.
And even maybe a Ghoul King charge. Maybe 2 Ghoul Kings could charge.
Yeah, one getting into the Nexus there.
Yeah.
Oh! He's got to spend that. He's got to spend that.
Yeah, his +1 still got him. The same with the double ones last time.
You got to love it, Josh, when you fail and you still succeed. Is your father someone famous? Because I can't think of anyone who fails and still succeeds more than you do.
Josh McBride, confirmed Nepo baby.
Yeah, he's a dice Nepo baby. Josh giving us some clap back here a little bit. That's okay. We deserve it. And if you can, swing by today, learn a little bit about AOS here at Metagames Unlimited, and you can swing by and maybe get a little bit of carrot cake.
Yes, one of our players' birthday, so we have some sweet treats outside of my co-host dulcet tones.
Aw. And I will say, maybe it's a hot take, but carrot cake, underrated. I think carrot cake's an underrated gem.
I'm actually not a carrot cake fan.
I can understand it. I understand. I don't force my opinions on others, but I don't mind having them my own.
Oh, countercharge with the Harrows.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, there we
that's
go.
a little surprising.
I think he's just taking the opportunity to try and take another one of those kings off the board.
Yeah. They're just putting more units in the danger zone.
I mean, units are already in the danger zone. He either walks away or he doesn't on a lot of this, so he might as well go all in, I think. That countercharge cost David a couple of command points, though, I believe.
Yeah, should be down to 1.
Yeah. Just updating the score here. Thank you, Kai. Thank you kindly. Don't worry, Kai. We still love you. We'll always love you. And big shout out actually to Kai here on the stream here for making this happen. Kai is our technical producer here, and he's making all the magic happen.
So this is my fear about bringing in those heroes, is that now you get to have maybe not all, most of the ghouls fight, and then the Ghoul King can fight the crossbows.
Yeah.
So you're risking both units instead of just one.
He does get at least a wave of terror ability in, maybe.
You don't, not on your opponent's turn.
Not on counter. Oh. So much for saving graces.
Getting those ghoul attacks ready, it looks like.
Yep.
Throwing a million dice.
Oh, welcome to the pain zone here.
Yeah, because each one that's fighting is currently at 4 attacks each.
Oh, my heart.
Even with mediocre ghoul attacks, weighted dice still does work.
Yeah. Quantity is a quality all its own. Definitely some duds in the bunch there, but you know, hey, that's still a lot of dice. All right, wounding on 4s. It's a pretty decent little crop there.
Yeah, not bad for a wound roll.
So now we just got to see how, as I cringe as I say this, David's saves here.
Yep. Are the 4s with him?
Yep, David, we believe you. May the 4s be with you.
David, I actually don't believe in you very much, based off of what I've seen.
Even Josh is cheering him on. What a great sportsman. Oh no. Oh. I'm glad I'm sitting down. I feel weak.
But yes, it is important to note there has been great joy and camaraderie from both sides of the table.
That's right. That's one of the great things about this game.
Excellent sportsmanship.
Yep, and that's one of the great things about the game here is that you can be having a game like this. Oh God, all the dread bellies are gone.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Frog Daddy. It's our design on the carrot cake here for us, for those who are in attendance today. And here comes the Aberrant Ghoul King into the crossbows, it seems. Oh my goodness. So 4 coming in. Statistically average. Oh, that was into the Nexus. I apologize.
Yeah, that was. I think that was the remaining ghoul attacks.
Yep, the other ghouls.
Because the crossbows get to fight next, and maybe high roll and try to kill that Ghoul King to save themselves.
Yeah, we'll see. Ranged units are typically not very famous for being able to dish it out in melee. We've got the head of GPM's chair here, Chase, getting ready to hand out some sweet treats. So again, if you're in the Springfield area, come on down to Metagames Unlimited, the hosts of our lovely event today. Get some fun carrot cake and learn about this hobby that's all about. As you can see here, we think it's a pretty great time. And this many people can't be wrong. Here we go. Okay, all right. This is something.
Yeah.
This is not nothing.
This could be something.
I think he used an all-out attack here.
I would imagine.
Yep. Ooh, that's not bad. All right.
I think if he fails... Okay, I think he's alive.
Oh, no, he saved 3 of them.
I think he has 6 wins.
Yeah. Oh, he's alive by 1.
Oh, they only have 5 wounds. Okay, I thought they went up to 6.
Oh.
So yeah, he needed that 5.
There we go. There we go. And some announcements about best painted armies. They're judged here. Which is yet another reason to be great about this hobby is that even if you're not like the most skilled tactician, if you're putting your best foot forward here in the hobby, there's still plenty of ways to impress and to make friends here and influence people.
I imagine this is Ossiarch.
There we go. There's a Nighthawk save, baby. There we go. We did it. We did it. It's justified the entire match. All right, now him with the claws. Here come the claws. My goodness. Oh, Chase has a knife. I'm not sure I trust that. My only saving grace is that Brett is closer to him.
That's true.
All right. All right. All right. Ossiarch's tired, but he's still got 4 coming in. And 2 coming in at the wounds here. Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go. There's that seeming invincibility for Nighthawk, finally.
Yep.
All right, and with that, end of round 4. Ooh. Oh, wait, I forgot we got the chain class.
Yes.
We got the chain gasps. Oh, God. Oh, come on.
And I think the Ghoul King still gets the fight also.
Yeah. Oh, no. David's just happy his dice have arrived.
Better late than never. Just like my father when he came around to the idea about investing. I was like, well, it's a shame you took so long to get here, but I'm glad you're here nonetheless. Did the Ghoul King whiff, or did they forget him?
I don't.
Because I feel like he should have killed some crossbows.
Right, there's an awful lot of crossbows there.
Maybe he whiffed. I wasn't specifically looking. I was watching this cake getting cut next to me.
I know. Sorry, folks. We got distracted by sweets, as we often do. Looks like we're definitely entering the end of the fight phase if we're not in the end phase here. And we have lost our screen. Oh, there we are. Thank you. Hopefully you folks at home didn't get anything interrupted here for you. Looks like we're just making some... Okay. So that was just a problem for us. That's good. 26 minutes left in this round here. This first match of 3 today. And we'll have 2 tomorrow here for you at the Summergeddon Super Squad Series. Once again, thanks to our super sponsors here, Metagames Unlimited in Springfield, Missouri, Gray Matter Games, Starforged, and Artist Opus. Oh, here we go. Looks like we've got...
I believe it's a retreat, I believe.
Yep. Crossbow's taking some damage here to try and get away from that important Ghoul King. 22-51 here. And, all right. Chain Ghasts also trying to take a look at what it's going to cost them to get out of combat.
Oh, no, I think this is charges.
Oh, okay.
Because they have the charge in combat.
Oh, yes, yes.
All right.
There's a
Strike
5.
last on the Chingas.
Yes. Yep. Unsurprising. We're just making things around here. That last treasure chest, by the way, belongs to the Chainghasts, as it's the last treasure. Or no, it does not.
It's on the cross
booze.
booze. He got rid of
Right,
the
you're
one
right.
of the Chainghasts.
When he doubled, he got rid of the Chainghasts, which smart move on David's part.
Yes. Not difficult to kill either unit, but much easier to kill 2 models than
Absolutamente.
a lot more than 2.
If you want some cake, it's already cut and ready for you.
You heard that, chat. If you want some cake, come on out and get it here at beautiful Metagames in Springfield, Missouri. Get some cake, get some models. I know the Chaos Knights for 40K just dropped here today. Oh, dealing 4-ups like a boss. And not doing that return. No.
Here's the wards.
Yep.
Got one
Saved
more.
one ward. That's another 6 wounds. That's one more dead king.
Down to only 2.
It's a week late for no kings, but you know, never better late than never. Play the game. Don't watch the game. David's coming over to the booth to comment on his own game. Classic metagame move from David.
Didn't realize there's no action if he's not involved.
David's already made his piece here. I think
I believe so.
he's just waiting for a Flesh Eater course to tell him how many times he's going to roll the dice here on a 4-up.
Yeah, I have a feeling David will have 0 models on the table at the end of this. Maybe a couple crossbows.
Depends on how the 4s treat him.
Yeah. Maybe the chain gas can last another turn against Ossiarch. Miraculously.
Yeah, if he does, we're going to go absolutely bananas bonkers here.
All out attack for this attack with the ghouls into the crossbows.
All right. It's an AOA here, the last command point for both of them. So nothing but honest Warhammer from here on in. Woo! It's a good crop.
It's a lot of auto wounds.
Call that man a farmer. Pulling in them crops.
Yeah, the dice
Oh,
on the
goodness.
table right now are the auto wounds.
Oh my
so
goodness. Oh. Come on, baby, let it hurt so good. Oh, but only the 4s. Ooh, stuff comes apart a little bit there. But that's all right. There's enough auto wounds to make
I
up
think
for it.
there's enough dice in the pool.
Yeah. 24.
44.
44. That's not enough 4s. That's not enough 4s, buddy. All right. Here come the wards.
Yep, here come the wards.
Last chance for David.
That is,
And
I don't think enough.
not what we needed.
That's a dead unit.
Yep. That's I believe that's the last treasure token here
Yep.
for David.
Although he will only be scoring 10 points from that tactic because one of the treasures got removed from the double.
But at this point here, I'm not sure Josh is going to sweat the 5 points.
No, he will still be scoring plenty.
Dropping another one.
There we go. David coming in with clutch 4s here, just not often enough, unfortunately.
Or early enough.
True. Okay, 4 coming in here for David. And saving 2 of them. Nope, saving. Oof. And that's one of the chain gas down. So literally 1 model left for Night Haunt here. Oh. Word save there on Usharon. Doing a little healing from the Nexus, it looks like.
I think this is priority, I believe.
Oh yes, you're right.
Yep. So 0 points scored
big
for David
0.
there.
Oh, goose egg is gonna be rough.
And this is the top of round 5. I do not anticipate these 2 turns taking very long.
No. The
Looks like
unfortunate part is I'm not sure who's going to get models into all 4 corners in time.
it only needs 3, 2 outside, I believe.
Let's take a look here. You're right. So Crypt Ghouls can definitely make that last little bit happen.
Yep. The Ghouls and then the 2 Morbeg Knights will finish it. Yep, he's going to have a 20-point turn. So
No
he'll
matter
end
what
it.
that last chain gas does, yeah.
Yep. So he's going to end at 71, and David will end at 22.
Just checking. Just doing a couple things here just for fun.
Yeah, killing that last chain gas
Yep.
just for honor.
Absolutely. Because with Night Hunt, there's
Okay.
always a chance.
I guess that's true. Theoretically, if Usharon doesn't kill this chain gas, he could teleport and get a couple points.
True. Oh dear. Here we go. That is 6 coming in.
I mean, to be fair, this is the 3rd combat that Usharon's been fighting these chain gas, so. And
There we go. Yep. No.
Hey, he still has some wards.
He still. Oh, you're right.
Okay, now he's dead.
There we go. Okay. That's right. With the key to playing Night Hunt is to never say die.
Yep.
All right.
And here's the
that wraps
handshake.
us up. Handshakes. Another game well done and well executed. 22-71. Josh McBride taking it here for the Feast Brigade. What a great match. What a great time.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
especially like just watching the 2 of them have a good time together, I think was the best part of it. So even though David was down fairly early on, still having a good time.
Exactly, and that's one of the keys of AOS here. Beyond all the tactics, beyond all the dice rolling here, it really is about 2 people coming together here to just make a lot of fun for each other here.
Absolutely.
So it's great camaraderie here. We will be back with round 2 here. We will be back with more fun. Do not leave us, or at least come back to us here.
I believe there's a lunch break.
Yeah, so go grab yourself a snack. Go ahead and use the loo.
Yep.
We'll be back at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And Life Cycle will be the battle plan for round 2.
So you hear it here, and we will see you when we get back. Once again, thanks to our sponsor, Meta Games Unlimited here, as well as Grey Matter Games, Starforged, and Artist Opus. We will see you at 1 p.m.